What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bronx Bombers Strike Back podcast here on the Sports Jedi Network, along with Chris the Flash from Chris the Flash Sports. Salute, Chris. How are you?
What's up,
Good evening.
Kev? Good,
All
good, good.
right,
How are you?
I'm real good, man. It's December 7th, a couple days before Christmas, and for Yankee fans, we talked about it yesterday, but I want to get your thoughts. Christmas came early for the New York Yankees. The over the night before we went to sleep, the trade became finalized, even though it was 99.9% almost done. But Soto's now the Yankee. Give me your thoughts. You wasn't able to join us yesterday, but I wanted to hear your thoughts and share your joy with us, Yankee Nation.
Yeah, as soon as I got off work, I got the notification saying, "Oh, we got Juan Soto." So I was like, "This is perfect. Now I can jump around and stuff when I get home." I drove as soon as I could to get home. What's up, Strike Zone, NFE? But
All
yeah,
right.
I was excited.
I think everyone was. We mentioned it yesterday. I had Jason on. Hi Jason. Hi Beast Jason. As we had Heel. And we were talking about it, and we went over it, and we were very excited about Soto, the possibility of bringing that, and not only that, Verdugo. Now the Yankees have their outfield solidified. You have, yes, I'm gonna say his name. Yes, Giancarlo Stanton is an outfielder. He could still play. You also have now Soto, Verdugo, Judge, as well as Grisham. Everyone, very underrated. Grisham is. I know he doesn't hit much, but he's also a hell of a defensive outfielder. Along, don't forget, also we picked up Gonzalez, for off the Guardians as well. So that was very good.
Yeah, that's solid. Pickups. I mean, what he said he wanted two left-handed at bats. He traded for three. So I mean, now I think this outfield is way better than last year's with Jake Bowers and McKinney and Frenchie and who I'm trying to think who was the other one
Willie Calhoun.
and Willie Calhoun, like NFE calls them the Fantastic Four.
And not only that, of course we already know we're gonna. I know we spoke about it. I know everyone heard all the names already that went back and forth. But at the end of the day, the Yankees traded Michael King, Higashioka, great worst Wyset. Of course, you're going to lose some pitching with Vasquez, and Vasquez, who did pitch a lot of innings for the Yankees, and Brito. We knew they were not going to be a number one, number two, not even a three, on the rotation. Maybe Michael King at best was going to be a top three, surprise you with a number two at times. But also there was some innings limits with him. Um, the Yankees got themselves Verdugo, who is a major leaguer outfield. They got themselves back a hell of defensive center fielder in Grisham. Is a utility? He's a backup, yes, a fourth, maybe fifth outfielder. And also they get themselves, of course, a generational player, regardless if it's a rental or not, in Juan Soto. So now you're talking about putting in together. I understand a lot of the Yankee negatives or Yankee anti-Yankee nation, because there is a big fan base that don't like the Yankees. Are going to say, well, you had Otani and Trout together and they didn't win anything, and you have a point. But you have now you have a dynamic with Judge, Stanton, because don't have you have to still count Stanton's power along with Juan Soto in that lineup. Don't forget, and what's it going to affect now? That lineup, it's going to get longer. With DJ LeMahieu, with Rizzo, he returns to form. Verdugo. Not only that, you got Anthony Volpe now. It gives you a nice balance as we bring in Heel. While I bring in Heel, let me say hi to the chat. We got Jerome. We got
Left
one side
Jerome.
noodle salute. Anna
What's up?
Lee, how
What's up
are
in the
you?
league?
Oh, that's okay, Anna Lee. Thanksgiving was great. I hope you're doing well. Hopefully, your Metsies start doing some moves, and hopefully they start putting together a team for you there, Anna Lee. But it was great to see you there, and as well, of course, Daniel Barrow Sports
What's up,
Highlights.
Daniel?
You know, Keel. Good evening, pal. How are you?
Yeah. It's a it feels good for me, so I can only imagine how it feels like for the Yankee fans today.
Yeah, it's a very day of celebration here. But you know how us Yankee fans are. Yes, we acquired Soto. We just talked about it. Now, what's next for the New York Yankees? You got to stay
Hmm.
aggressive. You got to stay. And how again? We in this podcast as well. We've called them frugal. We have called him, doesn't want to spend. He's worried about the chicken tender buckets, but it looks like he's looking like he's going to go to that 300, that third tier, the Steve Cohen tier of tax to try to win to appease the fan base. I mentioned it yesterday with Heel and Mr. Jason. We mentioned that the ticket sales are down. There's still 40% of the Yankee season tickets not renewed. So now you bring a Juan Soto now, you're going to bring a new market of the Dominican and as well as the Mexican crowd to Yankee Stadium. I don't know if it's going to translate to season tickets, but people are going to want to go now and attend Yankee games. So that's the ramification of the money situation when it comes, or the business side of signing a big player like a Soto and so forth. Yeah, well, so now what's next? We all pivot for Monday. Why we say Monday? Because Monday, that's when the New York Yankees have a meeting with Yamamoto. He will be, I believe, he's coming to the United States. He will have Hideki Matsui will be part of that brass. Omar Minaya, who, by the way, good job on Omar Minaya in getting in the talks and getting involved with San Diego to bring. That's what Omar Minaya does. There's value for a Minaya and a Saban in the organization, and Cashman even said it in his press conference, so I loved it.
Yeah, I agree. I love what he said, and then also the quote that everybody keep quote from him is he wants to make the Yankees the mecca of baseball. So I love that quote. I mean, we can't just stop with Soto. I know us Yankee fans is always what's next, but that's just how we are.
And I know some people roll their eyes and say, "Look at these arrogant or greedy fan base." Is that when you're used to a level of excellence since '95? Or you could even say before that, but then it was, we all know the history of the Yankees. They had that lapse there in, from the late '70s to the mid '90s. That we understand, but we started getting winning, and and that became a DNA. Like Steinbrenner, late George Steinbrenner says that we're not in the World Series; it's a failed season. I know some people roll their eyes and say you can't think like that, but you know what? We are the Yankees, one of the most historic franchise in all of North American sports, and you got to think about that. And they have to, and Yankees are acting like the Yankees again, and that's something for us Yankee fans. It's a breath of fresh air because they're acting like the New York Yankees. No one is out of their reach, although they're not. I still think they're not going to be irresponsible and go grab everyone, but you know that if the iron is there, or they will, if they need to be, they will attack and they will go get the guy that they want, and that's something that we could haven't seen in a few years, Chris and he.
Yeah, we talked about it actually a little bit, but I feel like we gotta address it more because, like, I think the key word is there, Kevin. You kind of said it, and I believe we should stay greedy. You got to stay hungry. If you're Cashman and Aaron Boone, you got to look at your lineup and your pitching rotation. And at first, you take a look at your lineup and you say, "Ooh, I like the top of this lineup. I really do." But LeMahieu's a question mark going into next year. We don't know when we're getting there. We might want to consider a third baseman this offseason, or at least get an infielder, move him over to the third, or at least get a platoon bat at the very least. Rizzo's a question mark. We don't know what Rizzo we're going to get going in next year. We might want to consider someone there. Um, Volpe, we got to hope he delivers and keeps developing, or else we might want to consider trading him in the offseason. Um, because like if you're again, you got 1 year to work with the Soto, you got to make it count. Verdugo, good acquisition, but he's a platoon player. You might want to consider getting another outfielder to platoon with him, And I know some people might say Grisham, but they're both lefties, and Grisham's not a good hitter. So you
You
might want
also
to
got
consider
you also got Gonzalez from the Guardians, who they picked up.
may, yeah, maybe he can be that guy, and you can flip maybe a Grisham and get a pitcher, maybe get like a solid number five, uh, and definitely address that pitching need. Maybe put someone else in the bullpen, because like we just said a little bit, in the other episode, besides Clark Smith and Garrett Cole, there's no one else you can really like fully 100% trust when it comes to your starting rotation. And so those are questions right now in the off season you have to ask yourself and put pressure on to go get yourself something, because you never because like as good as it feels right now, you have to be hungry going into next year, and you got to make it count, because after Soto leaves, and there's a fair chance he might, your lineup is looking like Verdugo might play in left to right, and then you're stuck with maybe Oscar and Grisham or whatever, whoever stays. You got to be hungry this year, and you got to make sure there's no mistakes. And you got to make sure if you do get eliminated somewhere in the playoffs, you laid it all on the ballpark. Everything was there, and you went down with the fight.
Right. You don't want to go down the way
Yeah.
they did a couple years ago. But let's go right into the starting pitchers. Now, I personally said if you're gonna go in, you go all in. You know, one goes half pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. If you're the New York Yankees, no one's half. So if you're going Soto and you have that 1 year, supposedly, let me prove you how great, or it's a pitch for him to stay in the Bronx, and then you have to go get some pitching. It starts with Yamamoto. If Yamamoto is the signature, and they sign with the New York Yankees, I still think they need another arm, and maybe one or even two arms if you ask, because we don't, let's face it, we don't know what Rodon is. He gave us, and there's a lot of question marks when it comes to the Yankees starting pitching. With Rodon, it's a question mark if he's going to bounce back and be healthy. Even Nestor Cortez Jr. Was that a year and a half fluke, or was it last year was just because he pitched so much innings, and wasn't conditioned to have the aftermath of pitching so many innings, and maybe now is he going to come back stronger because he knows how to get his body ready and go through that dead arm period and all the fatigue issues that he went through, or of course, he'll mention pitch clock adjustments. So the Yankees got a lot of question marks because Clark Schmidt, not for nothing, as much as we malign and we roll our eyes with Clark Schmidt, he did start 33 games for the New York Yankees along with Cole.
Mhm.
They were very reliable. Clark Schmidt was very reliable in that pitching staff, and I felt that his second half was very. Oh no, the Yankees didn't do any much thing, but he did became a better pitcher as the season progressed, and that's what you want to see with a young player, in a Clark Schmidt, get better, and listen, he's not going to be an ace. I don't know. I don't want to put limitations on Clark Schmidt, but there's potential for him to being a middle of the rotation pitcher for the New York Yankees. So then you got, but there's a lot of ifs. And now I'm going through the list of free agents pitching. Don't, besides of course the Yamamoto, you could trade for Glass now, but that's going to cost your king's ransom. And you got to save your kind of your minor league system a little, Chris and Heel, because like you said, Heel, if Soto leaves, you still have guys by the name of Spencer Jones, Jason Dominguez, Everson Pereira. You still got guys outfielding prospects. I'm not saying they're ever gonna be Juan Soto, but you could bring a major league caliber players up to the minor league system, from the minor league system to try to fill that void, and maybe they'll turn out to maybe be a quarter of a Juan Soto, in the Yankee lineup, or an everyday serviceable outfielder for the Yankees. And I get it, but Chris, I want to get your thoughts here after Yamamoto. If you had the wallet, if you had your spending budget, where would you go in starting pitching?
Um, of course, there was a rumor out there that we might try to sign Frankie Montas to a 1 year deal. If you do that, you got to make it a incentive heavy because you just never know what you might get, because his arm was falling off too. Um, Trying to think. I mean, this is why it's good to have all of infielders. I mean, we talk about trading Glaber. Maybe you could trade Glaber for a starter pitcher. So, I mean, there's plenty of routes. I don't want to sign Snell. I'm good on that.
Okay.
Jordan Montgomery, him coming back because of what Cashman said. That could come back. Um, that's the only thing I can think of. Trade Glaber for a pitcher, or re-sign Frankie.
And now Glaber has 1 year deal left, one year left of arbitration. Next 2025, he will be a free agent. I don't know what kind of a pitcher you could bring back for Glaber Torres to, I don't know if there's a candidate right now that will be a trading partner with the Yankees. I know my son Austin mentioned the Marlins, because of course
Yeah.
there is a big fan base of Venezuelans in Miami where you could, again. Guys. If you hear me for the very first time, I'm very big on bringing a player to cater to your demographics, where your
Hmm.
ballpark is. If you have a heavy demographic of Mexican American or Mexican heritage, Verdugo makes sense because people, um the heritage, the people, the culture, they will embrace that player. Like look at Lionel Messi. I understand he's from Argentina, but they're still a soccer and Latin ball player. And look how hot he is in Miami. Perfect place to go play in Miami. If you were to go to KCFC, the Kansas City, it wouldn't work. There's not that many people that maybe they would, but not to the degree that Miami. My point is, there's a lot of Venezuelan living in Miami. They will go to Miami Stadium if they have the players like that. You saw that for when Miggy went to the World Series, how it got excited
Hmm.
there and so forth. The World Baseball Classic, how that got full. You know, I'm big on that. And maybe Miami might be a partner there, but I don't know. Alcantara is hurt for the year, right? He just had Tommy John heal.
Yeah, he had Tommy John.
Yeah, so he ain't
Okay.
coming back. You're not gonna have him this year. You're not getting him this year. Um, I don't see my any other pick that maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe there is. Um, I don't know. I don't know where
I
the.
was
Go ahead, Chris.
I was about to say maybe look, and I understand he wasn't the same person, but we do have Matt Blake, and he's the reason why I make Matt Blake is who he is. If you want to call Cleveland up and and see what they want for Shane Bieber, and the good thing is Shane Bieber don't have to be the H5, so that
Right,
might take some pressure off him. I
right.
would try to see what you
I
can do.
I've been a big fan. Remember, I mentioned Beaver.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of Beaver, but I think he's lost a lot of zip on that fastball. But like you said, coming back to Matt Blake, maybe he unlocks something from a Beaver. You never know what could happen there. You never know. Also a name there, but I think this is me going on a limb for the MLB trading deadline coming in the summer. Keep an eye out for this name, Zach Wheeler. He's going. This is the final year of his deal. He'll be a free agent if the Philadelphia Phillies are out of it or they have a rough season. Look for them to trade Zach Wheeler. That's I'm going on a hot take right now. As we say hi to Fortran Express, Mikey Mazda. Salute.
What's up, Mike?
Salute.
Brandon Schultz. Salute, sir.
What's up, Brandon?
Yeah, nice. So Heel, your thoughts here, for if you're attacking this other than Yamamoto, pitchers for the Yankees to try to sign. You see the names that are scrolling underneath here. You got the Lucas Giolito, any Mike Clevenger. Wasn't he been injured? Was he injured last year, most of the year?
Mike Clemenger, yeah, or at least he had some personal issues. I know that for sure.
Yes, they did improve their team in 24 hours by a
Mm.
lot because now we mentioned earlier about Verdugo, the left fielder, Grisham, and as well as of course Juan Soto, also Gonzalez, weeks, so there is some improvement in that for the Yankees immediately, compared to last year's team. I mean, much major improvement there. um Clevenger has some good stuff, but I don't know. Like you said, where is his head right now?
I don't know. I, and for some odd reason, and I think we like to say putting on the pinstripes. It just makes a player different, and
Correct.
I don't know why. I feel like it would do this for this player. Uh, he has been solid for the Tigers, but he hasn't been like fantastic. But I feel like it would be nice for him to have a change of scenery. And I don't think he would cost Cashman or the Yankees that much prospects, or any big names, I should say. I'm thinking about a guy and like probably someone like Tyreek Skubal.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think he's a free agent. You would have to trade for him.
How old is
But
he? And how many years of controllability? Because Cashman likes getting those controllable fellas, those controllable players.
Hmm.
But but all depends on the asking price.
Tyreek Skubal right now, um, he's 27. He's 27 years of age. He has a career 3.87 ERA, and he's 23 and 27. Obviously, the wins and losses are going to be really vague
Right.
because it's
We,
the
we want to
Tigers.
know
Yeah.
give me the win, the WAR, the ERA, those kind of good things.
All
That's
right. Here's his baseball reference page.
hmm
He has a career WAR of 4.9, a career ERA of 3.87. Last year, though, he had a career WAR of 2. He had a 7-3 record and a 2.80 ERA.
Mm.
Um, and he threw 80.1 innings. Let's see how many games he was in. Um, he threw in 15 games. So along the line, he probably did get injured, but I'm not sure. Um, he gave up 58 hits and 28 runs, 25 of them earned. He only gave up 4 bombs. That's actually pretty good.
that's a
Granted,
good
it's
Yeah,
thing.
that's not bad.
granted
And
it's Comerica Park, but
I was going
still.
to say that that's a huge ballpark, but you still have to go on the road and pitch some games as well.
Hmm.
That's a nice stat there for him. Um, I don't know if the Tigers are rebuilding, why would give up an arm just like that? I mean, if they
Well, you just said it. They're rebuilding, so you can give them something like 2 prospects or something like that for just like one solid arm that you can easily slide in there with Clark Smith, and then bingo, you got 3 arms that you're automatically comfortable with. And then let me look up his years of control. Uh,
we gotta would like to too bad we don't have any insights on the Tigers organization. What are their needs? In their organization, do they need an outfielder? Like you can move an Everson Pereira.
oh,
I was
he's
thinking that.
controllable until 2026. He's on the free
That's,
agent until 2026.
that's gonna cost a really high touted prospect from to the Yankees to give up for him because of the controllability. Especially the Tigers who are rebuilding themselves. So even when he's about to have, let's say he has his career year in 2025, and maybe they could be ready to go.
It's a name though that I heard they're not gonna trade Dylan Cease. They just said that, but who knows? That could change by the trade deadline. But but it is a name where it's like I heard like someone in the Yankee brass heard that I just threw out there because like if they could somehow call the Tigers and be like, hey, what do you want for Tyrese Skubal? And he's a left-handed pitcher, and the Tigers aren't asking for that much, like they're asking for a reasonable price, then that is a name to consider.
Yeah, that's gonna cost a pretty petty
Yeah.
Hmm.
for a controllable player there, Screwball heel.
And he's
Um
young.
Milwaukee said they don't think they're trading Corbin Burns. I was one who mentioned Corbin Burns a few videos ago. That I want Corbin Burns. I actually was like, wanted him over a little more over Yamamoto because of the 5'9" Yamamoto who knows pitches on 6 days, the change of the baseball. we saw a little bit of problems with Tanaka when he, but of course Tanaka was a hell of a pitcher, but he ended up straining that ULC because of the change of the different ball, throwing that splitter. And that put that torque on that elbow, and that just kind of worried me with Yamamoto. I mentioned that about that. That's why I personally would like to get Corbin Burns in here, but it won't make. I don't know if they could do it, Mike. I don't know if they can, due to the fact that Milwaukee's going to want you to take a bad contract back, and I don't think the Yankees are in business to take the bad contract now that the outfielder has a logjam of players, which we're talking about Christian Yelich. So I don't know. What do you think, Chris? I would love Corbin Burns. Trust me.
I mean, the only way I would trade for Corbin Burns if I know Juan Soto is gonna stay. Because if I know he's gonna stay, Spencer Jones is bye bye.
That's absolute. If they announce that, come when the Yankees do their press conference in a few days at Yankee Stadium to introduce Juan Soto, and they introduce us with a contract extension. Yeah, I get you. Then I say, you know what?
Yeah,
Let's be uber aggressive. Chris, I
and
agree.
and 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 I understand Judge's like about to be in his later years on that contract, but it's like by the time all that happens, it's gonna be too late for Spencer Jones. So I'd rather get something for him than be like, oh man, let's waste another prospect.
The link is there. I placed the link. Join the conversation. Jason as well. And below, hype beast Jay. Join us if you like. Again, I know you were on yesterday, but we're not gonna stick too much on the Soto. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about what's next for the Yankees with the starting pitching. We're also gonna talk about relievers. We're gonna we haven't touched the reliever market yet. We'll get to that in a moment, and we're gonna talk about possibly infield. Third base at particular. So those are going to be the topics tonight there. So we're not going to hop. We mentioned our Juan Soto. We gave Chris the platform to talk about the Soto. He was at work yesterday, so he mentioned, and we wanted to see his jubilation tonight on the Soto acquisition for us as Yankee fans. So here's my thought. If we get Yamamoto signed with the New York Yankees, and by the way, I think this is going to cost almost $30 million to get him because
Hmm.
Eduardo Rodriguez just signed a 4 year, 80 million, 20 per for Eduardo Rodriguez, who is a good pitcher. Don't get me wrong, innings eater, very good pitcher. Number two, number three, number four starter for and damn, that means Yamamoto's going to make close to like 27 to 30 million a year. So you're looking at almost close, depending, 7 years, whatever 30 million is times 7, 21, like I said, 210 million. I said it. Gio, did you recall? I said that Mets probably offered them like 275. I think Jose Melo mentioned that on the chat.
Yeah, that's a really dangerous thing when a player like Yamamoto is just waiting in the wings, seeing these free agents go down one by one. It's like he's saying, "Hey, if this guy's getting that, how come I can't get this?" Because Yamamoto, even though he hasn't pitched in the MLB, he knows how good he can be, and he's gonna want somewhere around that what Eduardo just got, if not a little bit more. And that's the only dangerous part. And And by the way, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I just thought about it. Even though I don't want him to leave, I do. I think the most perfect fit for the Yankees is probably Jordan Montgomery.
He's going back to. I think he's going back to your
Yeah, he
Texas
going to
Rangers.
Texas.
Yeah,
And
Hmm.
you know my sentiment. Let him go there. I think the Yankees did him
yeah.
wrong trading him for Ben so forth. It's not going to work. There's going to be a little bit of animosity, or he's still going to have that. You know what? They're not really good. The minute he has a rough outing, are they going to value me or not? And it's going to be a disruption. Let him clean slate. Let him go clean slate. He has good memories in Texas. I liked Monty, but I think it's best for him just to stay with
But
them.
but yeah, on the Yamamoto thing, yeah. Is some teams out there is gonna have to take a gamble on spending a lot of money on him, and honestly, I do think it's worth it. I mean, we saw him pitch in the WBC against MLB
Yeah.
players and all that, so he has it in him to hang in the MLB. Like even if he has a somewhat rough first year, I mean, come on. Sometimes it does take a player a year or two to get used to MLB play. So the potential's there. I mean, for anyone who watched the WBC. The potential's
I
there.
warmed up. I warmed up to him. When I first, I wasn't a big fan. I have warmed up to him. I'm, 25 years old. Um, again, I mentioned yesterday. I like the fact he throws the fork ball, the splitter. It
Hmm.
brings me back to the Yankee dynasty when their pitching was really good. That was one of their main features. Strikeout pitch was the splitter from David Cohn. From the it's a Mel Stoudemire tutelage. So Clemens incorporated. Even saw it's a pitch that I think it will help the Yankees when you need a strikeout or get it, and now they went away from it because of Gary Sanchez's inability to block that ball, and they went to the stupid slider, and the rest is history. Not to go back in the minutia of circles, with the hamster wheel of turds, I like to call. Me personally, the way I want it, Yamamoto, I will bring back Frankie Montas for a prove it year deal. I'll make a 1 year deal. I'll try to get him a 2 year deal, with a player option for at the end of the year. If that means if he exceeds and goes above and beyond, he could opt out to try to make more money. If not, you bring him back on a lower deal too. Personally, and then one pitcher, I know you guys are not going to like the pitcher that I would like the Yankees to bring, for number 3 or number 4. And I know it's going to be, I hate to say it, but I would like to get Marcus Stroman.
Oh, okay.
Uh, he's really good, but I think he's gonna
Well,
expect a lot of
there's
money. When one because I think either he's a free agent or he's about to be.
Who?
no, he's a
Marcus
free
Stroman.
agent.
He is a free agent.
I thought he was a
Marcus
free
Stroman.
agent.
He is a
Okay.
free agent currently right now.
Okay. Yeah.
He's 33 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind to see him come to the Yankees. I know you know what, money talks, BS walks. He's a local kid, and man, John, salute John.
Yeah. People forget he's a ground ball pitcher. Actually, he can be good at keeping the ball on the ground.
What up, John?
Yeah. But yeah. And he's in the middle of his prime. I mean, he's a little bit away from falling off. But yeah.
You're not too sure if he wants
He
to come to the Yankees.
he
I mean,
does. He still does. He keeps our name in his mouth all the time. Trust me. He does.
listen, I don't know if he had a bad taste when he pitched for the Mets. Here's Here's the thing: go out there. You have a stacked team with the Yankees. And you win, you can stick it to the Mets. You know what? I'm in the real New York
Mhm.
organization. I mean, but you know what? It's all about money. I don't know what motivates Marcus Stroman. He's like from a different tailor, a different cloth. Maybe he wants to go somewhere warm, like Mikey said. Atlanta, Houston. I mean, you might be right,
And
Mike.
and I wanted to say this too about him. Guess who he respected that played for the Yankees? That was a pitcher, a lefty, big man,
Cece.
CC. And I know him and CC always talk. So I don't mind Stroman because if you get Yamamoto and then you pair him with Stroman, I like that. And then Stroman, like I said, he doesn't have to worry about carrying a rotation like he did with the Cubs. Because I'm sorry, he was actually one of the best pitchers for the Cubs.
And Heal, can you check to see if how long if Marcus Stroman landed on the IL last season, and if he did, how much time he missed? Because I never hear him much on an IL stint.
No,
Marcus Stroman, he's like a durable pitcher that will get the ball. He
and he's short.
yeah, he might skip a start or two, maybe, but nothing, with a long length of issues with health wise. And if you're in the New York Yankees, you kind of need that too. We know that, knock on wood, Cole made all his 34 starts. We talked about Clark Schmidt making all his starts, but then you had Nestor Cortez miss some pitching, miss some starts. Of course we mentioned it when we started. Vasquez pitched, Brito pitch. We had these guys that are no longer here that are part of the San Diego trade that made some innings and pitched for the New York Yankees last season. And we want some longevity. You want some pitchers who are durable that's going to pitch as well. And I think Stroman, if he hasn't got hurt that much, he fits kind of the bill. Hio, you got that information for us?
Yeah, last season, Marcus Stroman was placed on the 15-day IL, and he was out for a total of 6 weeks.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not bad.
That is not bad in the modern day
No.
baseball. According to us Yankees, that we know that where guys get hurt. just put this out there. Matsui, and what I've heard, Tanaka is going to be. Yeah, there we
Mm,
mentioned that. We mentioned that earlier. We said that on for this Monday. The meeting takes place Monday. They will be there front and center to the Yamamoto meeting, as well as Omar Minaya as well, who we gave his flowers and credit for being part of that Juan Soto deal. We heard Cashman in his press conference gave him his kudos. So you know what? I think I don't know. I think this is gonna get done because I think the Yankees get Yamamoto, guys.
I wanna say this too. Now there's a rumor that they have a secret weapon, and I'm thinking I have an idea who that secret weapon is. I think they're gonna bring in Ichiro too.
Ichiro had a
He
lot. He said
he
a lot of
signed
nice things.
he signed to the Mariners front office, so
Oh, so no, then they won't be able to sign.
yeah,
No,
I don't know how that's gonna work.
Got you. And here's another, and since everyone's enamored, and there's a mystery with the Japanese league pitchers, there's a Japanese lefty, um, Soda Imugana. I'm pronouncing it totally wrong. So forgive
that
me.
lefty. You talk about the lefty.
The lefty, he is he looks pretty decent, man.
I think
He's
it's
not gonna be an
Omang.
ace.
No, I'm about to say Omang.
It's Imuga. You got to say it with the Japanese accent. So
Yeah,
again, my Japanese friends and family and les watchers, sorry for butchering it. I
a
really
manga is a manga.
it
A
was
manga.
Umanga. It's Umanga.
Yeah,
Um, He's looks like he's got some good stuff from the left side. Left-handed pitching is just phenomenal. When you need and it's a premium. So if you could bring and I'm not saying the Yankees are going to get him, but keep an eye on him. Which other team? It's not a consolation because I think he's going to be really good.
and he doesn't acquire a poster fee neither, so you
No,
can outright sign him.
I think Mikey, you have a good. Could see the Giants going after him. I could even see the Red Sox going after him.
I think the Mets might get him.
Huh, never thought about the Mets. Never because you got the Kodai Senga, and you bring because
Hmm.
interesting on that there. And that's the Yankees starting pitching out there. Unless they make a trade, Tyler Glass now. But I've said it, the Rays are just gonna fleece the living crap out of the New
Yeah,
York Yankees
I
to
don't
try
know
to.
if you can see that, but
No, that looks
yeah,
choppy. Read it
yeah.
out for me,
Special assistant to the chairman,
Ichiro.
Ichiro Suzuki, we're the Mariners. Yeah,
Hey, and why not? He's
yeah,
been a part. When you think of the Mariners, you think of Ichiro Suzuki along
yeah.
here. You know when you think of that turquoise uniform for the Mariners, I kind of think of Ichiro Suzuki. I get that there. Boston is going to get a big name in free agency. Charlie, I
Ooh,
don't know who's out there left. Unless if it's
unless they trade.
unless Shohei Otani goes to Boston, you never know. I mean, everything's so secret with that novelty act. You never know.
That man a diva.
It's not actually that he's not. I mean, actually,
Yeah.
JJ Watt posted something. It's like people would have gave him hate either way. It's like because if he would have been like, yeah, talk about me, people would have been saying the same thing. It's like, yeah, I mean that's true with Shohei. I mean it's just true because when when you're a superstar like that, people are gonna almost hate you for no matter what you do.
Another Jose Urena. Remember, I think the Yankees were going to trade for him when he was in Colorado. We're like, thank goodness they didn't. That was a name. I think the year that they got Gallo, that terrible year. I think that name was on the Yankee radar. He's a free agent. Please don't go for that. I don't want no Clayton
No.
Kershaw. I'm looking at the names there. The one really intrigues me is Stroman. Um, Other than that, I really don't see anything there in the free agency market that interests me. Seth Lugo would interest me if he wants to be a long man out of the bullpen. But and let's go to bullpen. Let's go to the relief pitchers. Everyone knows that the Yankees do really need a closer. I don't think Clay Holmes is the answer, a closer. No, Michael King. No, you could have sling him as a closer, although he wanted to be a starter, but he played pitch well out of the bullpen. Um, I know everyone wants Dylan Cease. I don't think he's available. We also saw um, Bates signed with the Rangers, right? Heel.
Kirby Yates, yeah,
Kirby Yates.
he's coming to the Rangers with Bruce Bochy.
a name that's been circulating really hard for the New York Yankees, Jordan Hicks. Now, we saw that the Yankees were very enamored with Jordan Hicks when he was part of the St. Louis Cardinals. They, when the Bader trade for Montgomery, they thought they wanted Hicks' name was mentioned. The Yankees have had a apple in their eye for Jordan Hicks. I think they want to sign him. I think they'll try to get him as a reliever, guys. But I don't know if he's a closer. I don't know if he's that the end all who's going to be a closer.
Shohei going to the yeah, I think so too. I think he's going to the Dodgers.
Something I got this really weird feeling that he's going to the Blue Jays just because they like how they're being so quiet with him, plus he's all about just working out and playing baseball. So
Who's that,
Yeah,
Keel?
Shohei, he's all about just working out and playing baseball.
yeah,
Uh,
but what's bad about him going to the Blue Jays? And I, I don't know. I guess they don't care. They can't. They can't sign him and then extend Bo Bichette and Vlad. One of them's got to go.
But that's what the Blue Jays done many times. They sign a big name, then they go on fire sale 2 years later. You history of the Blue Jays, you look at it, and you know what? If they sign Shohei, fine, good for you. What be do? Because in a few years you're gonna go the front office is gonna go through a fire sale like they always did. They did a couple years ago. They did that, and they're gonna do it again. And it's like, you know what? Because they're gonna be like, oh, we can't afford it. Let's face it, Toronto is a good city and all, but it's a hockey town. It's a hockey town. They're not going to. You know what? I'm just gonna sit back and watch the Blue Jays demise. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm just gonna. Really, it's not because of Shohei's
No, you
fault.
true. No, you're
It's
right.
not. It's
No,
not. It's not. He's going to perform for them. But the point is the financial aspect of the team, and they're just gonna. Oh, they're gonna cry poverty. That's what the Blue Jays. They're posers. The Toronto Blue Jay organization are a bunch of posers that they want to act like they're a big market team, but meanwhile they huff and puff and they don't blow nothing down.
I want to say this too. I understand you want to get Shohei. He can't pitch this year. You need pitching. Who like who
They got
y'all gonna
Alex.
get?
They got Alex Manure.
No, he kept going to what double A, triple A, coming back up. He all over the place.
Yeah, but this time the Rogers Center they built in a McDonald's in the stadium, so he'll be good. It's like spinach.
Barrios rebounded. I mean, like he actually had a good season last year. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like he did rebound. You can look at his numbers.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't see them shining Shohei because of the crabbing poverty. They always are going to re-sign Vad if they want to. I think they'll sign Valeria Guerrero. I think he is the face of the franchise. When you think of the obnoxiousness that the Toronto Blue Jays system is, you think of Valeria Guerrero Jr., not the father but the son, and he fits what the Blue Jays are, a bunch of you know yuck organization.
And Mike, you forgot to bring this name up, and I wanted to bring him up when we was talking about Corbin Burns. But
Yeah,
Devin Williams, their closer, I heard rumors that they want to trade him, and he won't be as expensive as like a Class A or a David Bednar and stuff like that. So I mean, you can look
Toronto.
into that too. No, Milwaukee.
Mm. My son thought about what about Josh Hader. My Austin was like,
No,
I
you you
You,
you,
you
you
know, it would be a
you
nice
talking about
option.
I think his
pit,
sister.
pit,
I think his better days are behind him.
it's not even that. When they asked him to pitch a 4 hour save, you say no. You no, I'm good.
I would hate to see him go, but I know how good he can be, and he is a closer at heart, and he would be a reasonably priced for the Yankees too. It's actually Ryan Stanek.
Mm.
Now he was a setup guy for the Astros for Ryan Presley, but he has closer stuff. Now sometimes I'll admit he doesn't have the best control, but
They'll eat him
it,
alive at Yankee Stadium. The minute he blows a save, they'll
Yes.
eat him. The media will eat him
he
alive,
he
brother.
had he has some of the best stuff though. I'm
I
telling you.
know, but the minute he blows something in the let's say the Yankees get they down by two and they up and they go in the bottom of the eighth inning and Soto hits a 3-run blast and then the Yankees up by one and they give him the ball and they lose that. it's they will eat him alive in the papers. He is like I granted he does have that electric stuff. I don't know if he has the mental makeup for New York City though. I would love to see it, but damn, that's a risk. That's a high risk.
He,
That's a high risk and a reward situation.
I think you guys would love him though in New York, and I don't want him to leave. I actually do want him to come back, but like I'm just saying, obviously we're on a Yankee show, so
Right,
I'm
right,
I'm
right,
telling
right.
you, I'm telling you guys, if you want a
And
legit closer that will bring that electricity when he comes out, because like he's not afraid also to like be passionate and throw with
I
the
like that.
electricity and all like that. That's him, and he knows the game super well.
I like
Like
that attitude in a
yeah,
closer.
like I remember when a guy called the balk on him and he knows he didn't balk, he wasn't afraid to tell the umpire, I didn't balk. What are you talking about? And but still he said, you know what, fine then. And he still got out of the inning. And that was against the Dodgers. He has that electricity to be like, okay, this is our rival, but I'm gonna show you. Like I'm
Mhm.
still gonna
how
get
old
it.
is he?
Ryan
30,
Stanek,
30, 32.
yeah, he's 32. He has electricity. He can bring that to a clubhouse. He
The
also
only
fires you up.
the only thing I'll say about that, if
Mm,
he does come to us, if somehow he does come to us,
He's a free agent,
like
so he
Kev
could be
said, yeah, like Kev said, like if he gives up, I'm gonna tell you this, from my opinion, if he gives up like blown saves against the Houston Astros, the first thing the Yankee fan gonna be like, oh,
oh,
is he helping Houston?
they'll eat him alive. But I don't. Yeah, they'll eat him alive there. But like you said, that intrigues because of the electricity of the
Hmm.
electric stuff. Because look what's not for nothing. When Aroldis arrived, he was very electric
Hmm.
and he was exciting. There is something with that. Flash Gordon, if you remember, he was electric. He had some, with the arrow, the pointing in the arrow. That was I like those. I like those type of closers. Mariano Rivera is grace. When you think about class and grace, that's Mariano Rivera. That's you can't even talk about a closer, but comparing. But I kind of like those kind of closers. Class A also, but he might cost something.
He's gonna
The
cost.
Guardian. He's gonna cost something.
He
The
got
Guardians.
four. He got four
yeah,
controllable years.
yeah,
Four, yeah, that's gonna
yeah,
cost. Then I don't think they'll move from him.
yeah, and I'll admit he didn't have the best year last year, Ryan Stanek.
Hmm.
And that was mainly due to injury. But but yeah, the guy is really good at what he's good at.
And the
Uh,
Yankees had interest in Robert Stevenson from the Rays. There's interest in
yeah.
him.
Yeah, and ironically, these guys are naming Jordan Hicks and Stevenson. Ironically, both of my teams, Rangers and Astros, are interested in them too.
Right.
So, so I think the Yankees might want to really get them away from those guys because, like, well, but the other two teams are World Series contenders, and
Yes.
you're trying to build one to go against those juggernauts that are
Correct.
definitely going back to the playoffs.
Yes. Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that there. We could see that. It'd be interesting to see how the Yankees are gonna because remember, no Trevino, Luis Trevino, the Yankees did not tender him, so he's gone. Unless they could bring him back in a contract. I don't know if they can if they didn't tender him. Maybe they might reach could possibly bring him. Wandy Peralta, although the Yankees looks like they're would like to bring Wandy back to their rotation. But remember, we're also getting Scott Efros back from his injury. So he should be coming in. You have Tommy Canley. You also got, of course, Clay Holmes.
And you got
Am I
Hill,
is which one?
Luis Hill.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's coming back.
I would let go of Trevino personally. I
No,
mean,
he's not
yeah,
returning. He's
yeah,
a free
No,
agent.
yeah. I was
He's
about
a
to
free
and he
say
agent.
had Tommy
he's
John
proven
too.
Yeah.
he's proven nothing. I was like, he's got to go.
Yeah, he's a free agent. And also you have Middleton. Remember we signed we traded for him in the middle of the season. Middleton is still part of the team uh that we made the deal, I believe from the White Sox that we traded for him in the middle of the
Hmm.
season. So he's
Yeah,
still on this team for some mini relief. Yeah, we'll see what they'll do there with the bullpen guys. Here's one thing I'm gonna say: as much as we malign and we attack Brian Cashman, he does a good job finding bullpen arms. We got to
No,
give him
Mhm.
credit.
let's not sugarcoat it. No, last year's trade line was hilarious. Cause like, eh, let's not try and sugarcoat it. It- it's like, listen, they had a chance to at least make the playoffs last year, and everyone was
I
begging Cashman to do something, and he did absolutely nothing. Instead, he went out there and made two comedic moves that made no sense. So let's not try and just be like, well, Cashman, he did this and that. It's like, and I get it. Maybe some of this is coming from the fact that he got Juan Soto, and that's great. But no, I'm not. I'm not gonna just. I'm not just gonna be like, okay, no, you got Soto, you're doing good this offseason, so I'm just gonna forgive you for the past. No, it's
No,
like,
no, no. We're
no,
not forgiving him from the past
yeah,
because again,
that was
Ba-
comedic what he did there.
Bader for Montgomery was the most stupidest trade, and I said it, and I said it,
Yeah,
and I said it on the video. I got pissed off when the trade deadline came, and I even made a joke of it. I don't like the kid. I don't like the kid, but the kid could hit home runs. The kid was a bad move for the Yankees to get Harrison Bader. I said it then, and I said it, and I always said it. I was, he produced, yes, at times for the Yankees. That was a bad move, Cashman, bad move, but last year bringing Middleton and making those, he didn't give away, he didn't make knee-jerk reaction moves just to try to get into the postseason and get bounced in the wild card. Because let's say he would have gave up one of these pitching prospects that went for Soto, and then you know what, we didn't have enough prospects to trade for a Juan Soto. So things happen for a good reason. Yeah, Yankee fans, it sucked that we didn't make the postseason, but and we went home in right on October 1st. But guess what? We probably, you know what? We probably saved a couple of prospects, not making it a knee jerk reaction, and got us Juan Soto. So maybe you have to take a step back to take, hopefully, minor leaps forward. Just I'm
And
trying to look at it in a positive way.
and and another thing too, with I guess what kept Cashman from trading anything, like we was rumored to try to trade for Bellinger, and then when the Cubs said we're not trading Bellinger, that probably messed up Cash plans.
Just think of what would have went for Bellinger. What would have went for Bellinger if Cubs said, yeah, let's I'm trading the kid. I'm gonna give you what would, and I understand it's a rental because he would have been a free agent, but let's say it would have
Hmm.
cost maybe a Randy Vasquez. And I didn't say that, and I don't know if that was the pivotal move that would have gotten the Soto deal neglected, or maybe Drew Thorpe, maybe for Bellinger. Then which I heard the Padres, Thorpe was one of their main guys they wanted. They wanted Thorpe. That was one of their high prospect, lower, AAA ready that they wanted. They wanted from the Yankees. Let's say they would have just made that one move for Bellinger. Then they would have said, you know what, we can't trade for Bellinger. We're not gonna trade for Bellinger because we're not trading for Soto because we got Bellinger already. And then you missed out on the generational player. Listen, I know Bellinger is a good player who could play first base, left field, but he's not Juan Soto, guys. And I know
Yeah,
Bellinger was close for getting an MVP, but Bellinger had some off years. I'm just gonna say Cashman is trying to redeem himself, but you know what? For the Joey Gallo moves, it stinks. For all the other moves he did, it stinks. I'm not saying he's a good GM, but when it comes to the bullpen, though, let's separate. Let's get back on track to what we were talking about. For him to recognize talent from the bullpen arms, he does a good job there. He does a pretty
yeah. I
good
mean,
job
you could
because
name them.
nobody Talkman for Wandy Parata. I mean, that was a hell of a move.
Mm-hmm. Clay Holmes,
Holmes. And I go and
Ian
granted,
Hamilton,
yes. Yes.
Lucas Licky. I mean, I'm trying to think who else is random. I think
He
that was it.
no, he's got Nestor Cortez. Nestor Cortez was
Yeah,
was a
twice.
journeyman. Twice, a journeyman. It wasn't ready, and maybe had a last opportunity with the Yankees, and maybe would have been AAA, and then maybe but look at what he finding those kind of pitchers, bringing there. I Cashman does that. I know they say there's a joke. He's a bargain basement guy who could bring those kind of guys. Boy, the Wolfhounds would have loved Brian Cashman as a general manager to go and find people at the Dollar General. I mean, he does. I got to give the devil his credit. He's terrible. We talked about Cashman from Kingdom Come
Hmm.
from the Donaldson trade to, but let's give him a little bit of his flowers and his credit. When he needs to find certain things like those players, he could find it. He could bring in a Matt Carpenter that helped, and for help the team at that year. Those kind of little things like that, nuance. He's good at that. That late season or right before the season about to start to make that deal. He's good at those things. Listen, Franchi Cordero stunk, but you don't tell me the first month that he was here, he gave a jolt to the Yankees. He did. He made that move. He brought him in here, and we're like, what? But it helped him get a little bit of a jolt. Even Tulowitzki, when he brought him here for before had to retire, he gave the Yankees a jolt. They got into that. They got into a hot start with Troy before he went hurt, and when they won the 101 games, he makes those kind of little maneuver moves. I'm looking for him to do that this year. I'm expecting him to do something with the bullpen that way, where something out of the blue from when it comes to Cashman there, and that takes me to the next topic here is we talked about pitching, we talked about we talked about starting and relievers. Now let's talk about, are you guys comfortable with no real center fielder until Dominguez returns maybe in July, August? And do you feel comfortable with the captain playing center field in April when it's cold, covering a lot of ground in the gaps of Yankee Stadium? And thank God Judge has never pulled hamstrings, not Giancarlo Stanton, but it's gonna be freaking cold in New York for him to be playing center field. And it's until June. I'm kind of afraid because Boone said season starts today. Judge will be playing majority of the center field, and I know we have Grisham who could come in as a sub, to play some hell of a defensive center field. But I'm a little worried there. I would like them to get themselves a center fielder that could play at times. What's your thoughts? I'll go with Chris first on that.
Yeah, I don't mind Judge being the center fielder because out of all three of the fielders that we got, Verdugo, Judge, and Soto, Soto's probably the worst one out of all three of them. So you would want Soto to go to right and let Verdugo left. And I mean, just remember when Judge was playing center field, what he did. He broke the home run record for the American League. I mean, I feel comfortable. I mean, I feel like, be honest with you, it don't matter what position or out plays, you can't predict injuries. I mean, look what happened. He played right field in Dodger Stadium and he
Right.
hurt his toe. So it's like he just the only thing I'll say, don't dive for too many balls. That's all I ask. Other than that, I'm fine.
Unless your name is
What
Debbie. Hill.
yeah.
Your, your thoughts there. Looking on the outside, the Yankees going with Judge in center field, especially early part of the season when it's cold, and your thoughts. Do they need to find themselves a center fielder?
I'm gonna say no. They don't need a center fielder. Because like obviously this isn't Judge's first year in New York.
Correct.
He spent a lot of years in New York, so I would expect him to be at least a little bit used to the cold. This start of the season. Does he love it? Probably not. I don't know. He is, after all, a natural born California kid.
True.
But I mean, once you spend a few years there at the beginning of the season in New York, I would like to think you're at least a little bit used to the cold now. And we've seen him play center field before. He's actually a pretty good center fielder.
He is. He is.
Like, yeah.
hmm
So if anything, I'm actually really comfortable with him in center field. And
Hey, what's up,
Please
fellas?
and
do.
think about this too. He's like what, 6'7"? He can rob some home runs out there. Like Aaron Judge, and I think we all know this, but I'm saying anyway. He's really, really athletic. Like,
Yes.
hmm
will his body tear down eventually, like Stan? I don't know. Hopefully not. But he is so athletic. Like, you have a guy who can run, chase down balls, rob home runs, and everything.
Mhm.
He's just an elite center fielder that I feel like everyone should be comfortable with. And I guess his size is what makes people a little bit worried, and the fact that he got injured last year. But overall, he's almost the perfect center fielder, if not, really good at least.
All right, so we'll bring in Jason into the conversation. I'm going to ask you this question, then I want to get your thoughts on some other topics that we were talking about earlier. But the quick one are you comfortable with Judge in center field to start the season? Or do the Yankees need to find themselves a center fielder, natural center fielder?
Um, I think I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not like he's gonna play there every day. You know how Boone likes to rotate the lineups and stuff, and we still got that other guy we got from the Padres, and apparently
Christian.
he's like a Gold Glove center fielder. So I'm sure
Yeah,
he's
he's a
gonna
Gold
get
Glove
some
center
turn.
fielder.
Yeah, and then again we got Dominguez coming back. He should be back by the summer, so
Right.
I expect him to get
That
some
was
playing
like
time.
my concern, Jason, was since it's cold in New York, the possible of a hamstring pull or cramps and or the cold for him to play in center field, a lot of games, majority of the time until the summertime, until Dominguez returns, maybe get and I put as you scroll underneath, you see some of the free agent center fielders out there, but there's a
Mhm.
lot jam in outfield for the New York Yankees. I just wanted to see if how everyone on the panel on the dais was comfortable seeing Judge opening day in center field. That's my question was.
I mean, I think Judge. Well, I mean, we know Judge can handle it,
Right.
right? I think he said he prefers center field. Didn't he say that one time?
He
So I
he was in
mean,
Yeah,
that.
when they
He
first put him.
came up. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah,
You know what I think they'll do? I think they'll try Verdugo out there, see how he does. Maybe like a game here and there, and then if he can handle it, they'll give him some more play. I mean, look, guys, we had IKF out there last year, so I'm pretty sure. I don't, man. Anything's an upgrade at this point. But I definitely I don't want to see Judge get hurt. That's my only thing. He's got to stay healthy this year.
I agree
And
with.
yeah.
And since you came on here, I want to ask you here, because we already went through, and I want to get your thoughts.
Mhm.
Pitching wise for the New York Yankees, besides Yamamoto, if you could add two starters other than Yamamoto or one, who would you like for the Yankees to pick up on the free agent? I could put the free agent list back up there as starting
Mhm.
pitching. And if you had the checkbook.
I mean, besides Yamamoto, honestly, like I've been thinking about Monty a lot lately.
Okay.
I just don't want him back because I feel like it's like bad luck. I don't know. I have like a
hmm
superstitious type
I
of
said the
thing,
same
but
thing. Yep.
Monty was great, man, and he's even better now. So, and I mean, he knows the organization. Who else could fit in better than Monty? So, I mean, that would be one, I guess. Um, who else? Who else is out there? I definitely don't want Blake Snell. I'll stay
Okay.
away from him. Um, and Shohei, just Shohei Ohtani, even though he won't pitch next year. But I don't know. That's a tough one because
You're
I think I'm hoping that some more pitchers become available on the trade market instead. I feel like once Shohei signs, a lot of things are gonna change.
I agree.
hmm
A
I
lot of things are gonna change, and right now that's we just have to wait for Shohei. Whenever he feels like signing.
I think
I
it'll
got
be. I think it's gonna happen by the weekend or by. Yeah.
I got a question for Jason, and it's not like anything like bad or like that, but like it's like, do you do you feel like Monty became better with Bruce Bochy, and that's why he seems like more enticing? Like obviously he was still good in New York, but like do you
Uh,
feel like he got to display more? I guess with a better manager, that's why he's like seems more enticing this year. Because
um, yeah, he definitely got better. I mean, clearly, I'm not sure if it was the manager or what, but he even said it. Sonny Gray said it too. Like the Yankees they wanted him to have a certain pitch sequence, and he wasn't comfortable. I don't know if it was with the sweeper or what it was, but he wasn't comfortable throwing that pitch that much. So when he went to the Cardinals, they were like, hey, whatever you want to do, and it worked out for him. So, and that's not a knock on Blake's on
Aaron Boone.
no, Matt Blake. I almost
I
said
believe.
Blake.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not a knock on Matt Blake because I think he's a really good pitching coach. But I think sometimes the analytics they get real too involved, man. Like if a pitcher doesn't feel comfortable throwing something, don't force him to throw it. He made it to the big leagues for a reason. So that's
He
my
said
take.
he enjoyed throwing more of the fastball, and also, you know, with the Cardinals, I believe Did he? He'll correct me if I'm wrong. When Montgomery got there last year, was Yadier Molina still there?
Yachty is still like he still works with the Cardinals, but obviously he's not the catcher anymore.
But the philosophy of him having input with
Yeah,
the catching and the pitching staff there might have seen something from Monty that helped him unlock something. He probably go ahead, Chris.
I wanted to say this too because you brought that up. Actually, the pitching coach that was in St. Louis went to Texas.
yeah,
Ah,
that too. It was Maddox.
so
Maddox.
Matt,
Yep.
so Maddox saw something with Monty in the Cardinal organization, and that's what led to that trade there. And I think he
Hmm.
likes and I think he might have helped unlock something from Montgomery. You know, what time, what pitch count to throw what. Maybe at certain pitch count, throw your fastball, trust your fastball because the contact you're going to get is going to be favorable to the defense that's out there. Maybe that's something and maybe that's a way of using analytics to benefit. Who knows with that there. And you know what? You know what? I actually didn't mention a pitcher that I've been enamored for quite some time, and I saw he's a
Oh,
free
yeah.
agent. I was looking at the damn name there. It's Sean Manaea. I saw Sean Manaea's name, then I go, "Oh snap, he's a free agent." I like Sean Manaea more than Frankie Montas. I always said it over and over again because I like the left-handed pitching for Yankee Stadium. It fits Yankee Stadium, guys. When you have a lefty, you go get for Yankee Stadium because now you got to put right-handed hitters to neutralize the Yankee Stadium short porch, and that's why that's why I was so mad to begin with Jordan Montgomery leaving the organization. Why are you going to give a lefty to your ballpark? You got to have lefties to neutralize the left-handed sticks with the short porch. That's why I like this Sean Manaea. So I just wanted to bring that note there on that there. Let's talk about the infield. We're talking about this is going to be a huge, huge year to find out who is the real DJ LeMahieu. Is he back? Is he going to return back to the machine that we saw the first 2 years with the Yankees, or is this a broken down, aging DJ LeMahieu? Because I think this is going to be a pivotal year for him. Is there going to be a bench? He's going to be at the end of the year. He'll be elected to a bench player, or he's going to be who we thought he was. Jason, this is huge. He finished off the second half last year pretty good. What's your thoughts of DJ?
Well, it's like the Eminem song. Will the real DJ please stand up? I don't know, man. He's been wishy washy lately. If he stays healthy, I think he still has some good years ahead of him. Obviously his best years are behind him, but honestly, I want to see Peraza. I want to let the young guys get a chance, man. If
Fair.
not, then you got to trade him. I was thinking about this. We have so many. Like, what happens to Cabrera? What happens to Everson
I was gonna say
Pereira? What happens to Florial? What happens to all these guys? Would you send them to AAA or trade them? Something. But I would rather have Peraza or another third baseman out there. What do you think about Chapman? No, I don't think nobody.
No,
Right?
No, I think he's a little too older. Because he's
that's
gonna want
Josh Donaldson 2.0.
yeah, he's gonna want a 3-year deal. Yeah, we just went through Donaldson's
Yeah, I'm
stench
good.
to get
Mhm.
him here. Is like, it's like you're like history repeating itself. Even Justin Turner. I mean, look, he's gonna be almost 40. And a name that Jameer Candelario, the Yankees almost traded for him, but he signed with the Reds, so he's
Yeah.
off the books there. It would have been a nice one. Gio Urshela, I don't think you return him back to the Yankees. You let I'm looking at the names that are scrolling by here. Nothing really stands out, you know. But there is a name that that I thought that the Yankees could, you could either bring back IKF to be as a backup in case you need him to play shortstop in case or second base. He could utility move him around. He could. You also have Oswaldo Cabrera as well, like you said,
Mhm.
Jason. Um, Here's a name that's a free agent that comes up as an outfielder, but he's an infielder, especially if you're going to move Gleyber Torres. What any interest on Kike Hernandez?
Kike Hernandez. Uh, Nah. I hate him when he was in Boston. So I don't. I mean, we
He's a
already got enough Boston Red Sox on our team. Man. We don't need enough.
He's a pesky hitter who has speed and contact, especially if you're moving a Gleyber Torres. And let's say you go with Peraza at second, and you have LeMahieu at third, but you have Kike Hernandez as your who could play in emergency situations short, second, a little third, and he's that pesky player who you could get him off the bench if you need to steal some bases, make some contact, run some havoc, and actually could play center field as well too. That's why I kind of like I like Kike Hernandez. But I don't know that I don't think that's gonna happen. I just wanted to throw that name out there because I think he fits a tool of all different. I think he plays a little more better than Oswaldo Cabrera, although I do like Oswaldo Cabrera.
Like our lineup now, we actually got slower than we were last year. We're younger, but we're slower with
I
these
agree.
two additions. So I would like to see some speed in there. Obviously, you got Volpe, but besides that, who else? Who's gonna
Yeah,
steal 20, 30 bags?
that's
So
why I threw the name Kike Hernandez out there for some speed. You
mhm.
also got Grisham who could come off the bench with some speed there. Hio, any chance do you let me know what Grisham's stolen base total was with the Padres?
Yeah, and I don't think the problem's that with the team at all. I think the problem is to this point is like we just said, who's gonna play third, and also number two, do you need a third baseman like an everyday third baseman? I think that's the main question right now.
I
Um,
would love it to
I
be DJ. I wish I could put him back in the time machine where he was healthy back, right before the first year he came with the Yankees out of Colorado. That's the DJ we would love to have here on his team because but Chris, your thoughts, man. Do we need an everyday
I would
third base?
I would put Peraza at third and put DJ at second, and like I said, Trey Glaber.
Trey
I,
Glaber.
Peraza, you're gonna get something for Glaber. All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get this
you're
to
right.
Yankee fans' head. They're not resigning Glaber. They are not
No,
resigning Glaber.
Yeah, I
we
You
know
know
need
that.
to get something for Glaber.
that.
Like I
Okay,
don't understand people. Like some people saying, "Oh, why not keep him and get a pick?" What the hell you want to pick for?
No, I don't
He,
want to pick. I'm gonna miss his bat. To be honest, man.
of
Yeah,
course, like of course we're gonna miss his bad, but they're not gonna resign him.
I
So
kind of
it's like get something for him.
I kind of would like to see Gleyber Torres hit with all these guys in this lineup that is
mhm.
being constructed
I
right now.
mean, I do too, but
Move.
I don't want to. I don't want to waste. Like he has a lot. Like you can get something for him.
Mhm.
So why not start Peraza at third and put DJ? DJ want a Gold Glove at second.
You guys love Peraza. I don't. I to me, I think he's not a major leaguer, but I mean, I've
You
been,
know, you- I mean,
I mean,
well, of course he's not yet. He hasn't
there's
really
only
gotten
one
a
way to find out. Let him
yeah,
play. That's
yeah.
it.
He,
Yeah,
he hasn't been
You'll
given
never
a
know.
chance.
Mhm.
doesn't give me. He
and
doesn't
like
give me. He
Jason
does.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, same with
and like Jason said, we need speed. He's fast too.
That's true. That I give you there, but I don't know. I don't
And
think
same
not
that.
with
only that though, so another thing too, you have to let them play to get their value up,
Hmm.
because if not, nobody's gonna want them. People, they
That's
want
true.
guys who are proven. So if you could get him, 50 games and he does halfway decent, his value just went from a prospect to a established or
Hmm.
semi-established big leaguer. And I don't know.
I
I think they should give him a chance. I think he earned it at this point, in
Yep.
my opinion.
You could get away with that, guys, because you have power in the outfield. Like if they were having a regular typical outfielder, with no power with a home run, you need power bats at third. This is the time if you're gonna do it. This is the time of the Yankee trajectory or timeline to get away with a non-home run hitting third baseman. No power numbers in the corners is now because you have Soto, you have Judge, you have Stanton, you have even Verdugo, I think is going to have like 27 home runs in Yankee Stadium just because of the short porch. You then you don't need that power from your third baseman. Then you could go with a Peraza there. I could see that there. And like you said, Chris, trading Gleyber Torres is you would like to see that for maybe a Class A. I mean, you could see where a three-team deal where you eventually can have him
Hmm.
get to Miami and bring Class A in, and so Miami sends something to the Guardians. it'll be interesting to see there. If we get a third baseman there, because you kind of want to keep Peraza, Jason, and Chris and Heel in case Volpe has a sophomore slump or something unforbid. We don't know. I don't want to say injury or whatever, but you want to have that shortstop. I can't go with a makeup IKF or Cabrera play a long stint of shortstop.
Yeah, and I have to defend Pereira here too, because like the Yankees need to let him play too. Rather it is to raise his value or to see what he's got too. And as for the Grisham question, he had 15 stolen bases last year and got caught 3 times.
That's a good ratio. 15 out of 18. That's a good ratio there.
I mean,
Yeah.
he barely got on base. That's why. Maybe if he, the dude's he's hit under 200 for the last
He
2
got
years.
he got on base 31% of the time, and his batting average was 19 cents. Let's put it that way. He batted
Well,
198.
let me give you this scenario, Jason. It's the bottom of the ninth inning, right? And you got and DJ LeMahieu gets a base hit, or they got a walk, and LeMahieu gets a base hit, first and third with 1 out. Tying run is at first. Here comes Grisham to pinch run for DJ LeMahieu now. A base hit in the gap ties the game, and you got Grisham move with some speed.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I mean, if he got some speed, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with him, but I would think we gotta have somebody else who's faster than that.
I think
we always gotta. I'd rather have a Cabrera in there or somebody. Man, you always gotta have somebody with wheels that you could just bring him in. Like, hey, I just want you to run. You just a runner. You're like the designated pinch runner. That's all you do.
No, I agree with. I see that. Yeah, but you want. I think it's Cabrera. Last year, who was last year that guy, Chris, for us? Who was the guy that was? You knew you were going to get a stolen base no matter what when he came in. There was Volpe, but from the bench,
was it Greg Allen?
Greg Allen, yeah, that was one. I believe there was another. Allen was one of those.
Allen, he's really fast.
He was electric.
I just hope the Yankees could find a balance because I hope we don't go back to that just home run or nothing mentality. That's what I'm afraid. Like I'm happy we got these sluggers, these hitters. These guys that are his. But I thought we were going back to some small ball. Didn't Boone say we got to do the little things, the bunt thing? And I'm not saying I don't. Obviously, you can't bunt all game, but it's important. Those little things are super important in the game, man. Well, especially.
Soto,
yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry.
I'm sorry. No. I'm about to say because Soto could do everything like Judge. He could contact hit. He could take the walk. So that's why I like Soto. Like he's not just a home run hitter. Yeah. Like if you look at his average, especially his career, I think is he batting over 300 or 290?
No, last year he batted I think 270s in the 270s. But
no. I'm saying his career in general.
Yeah, his career average, he's a 300. Yeah, he does it all. That guy gets on base.
Yeah,
he doesn't strike out.
He doesn't strike out. You're right.
He does take a walk though, but we got to be patient, Yankee fans. If he takes a walk in a crucial situation, you can't. Oh, here he goes walking. He's trying to pass the baton to his teammates. Yeah. This is a team sport. He trusts his team. So we have to be a little patient if he does have a high walk percentage. So we can't go crazy about it because he's not going to be undisciplined to swing at something just to try to make something happen. That's not the type of game. That's not what got him to the major league. So we have to be patient now, saying in December when we're in the middle of July and he has a walk in a big crucial spot, and the Yankees don't come up, you get mad. Why is Soto? He should be swinging for the fences or because he trusts his teammates to pass the baton. That's a smart player.
Let's see.
Yeah.
What you got?
And then we got Judge.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up, and I'll defend Kev on this point of view. So, and I looked it up. Can you guys guess who led the Yankees in stolen bases last year?
Volpe.
It had to be Volpe.
Tied with who else?
Glaber had a high stolen base total.
But he gets caught a lot, Glaber, man. That guy's just chasing numbers, man.
Yep. All right, I'll go ahead and say it was Harrison Bader. And Trent Grisham we looked up, and he had 15 stolen bases. These two had 7.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
the numbers. But no, I think no. Didn't Volpe had like 20?
Well, this is going month by month apparently, and
Talking about for the
so
season. Volpe had a lot. I think he was close to
Yeah,
20.
he had
He
like
had like
3
20.
stolen bags his first game. I think
Yeah, like he was
opening
20
The
day.
20.
problem, yeah, the problem was he couldn't get on base anymore, so that's why he couldn't get no more steals.
I think he's got to change his hitting approach. I think he has a too
okay,
long of a swing.
yeah. So this is go by
Mhm.
month. Yeah, Bader. So they had the highest stolen bases by month. So in August, Bader had 7 stolen bases. In April, Volpe had 7.
So
Bader had
how
6.
much total?
We want to know for the season though.
Yeah.
See, that I had a hard time finding. But like, yeah, that's by month. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna look up Trent Grisham by month.
Yeah, but
I
I
mean,
think Volpe.
I don't expect
Oh,
that guy Trent Grisham to play much. To
No,
be
no.
honest,
He's gonna be he's gonna be a defensive replacement specialist.
Mhm.
and I want to say this too. Soto might not hit as many home runs as this person, but his game, if you watch his game, he reminds me of Barry Bonds so much, where he doesn't take crazy pitches. He takes his walk, and if he gets a hole in one, he's gonna get a hole in one.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
that it reminds me of Barry Bonds so much.
it
Maybe
does.
not as like because Barry Bonds took steroids, but
Mhm.
his game just reminds me of Barry.
Volpe had 24 total stolen bases for the year.
Yeah, there we
Who
go.
was second though? I want to know who was second on the team.
Torres.
There we
I mean,
go. There we go. Volpe had 24. There we go. And then second was Bader with 17.
Okay,
IKF was 14 with third. Then Glaber.
I know it.
Then Cabrera.
Who got
Then
caught the most? I bet you it was Glaber. Man.
Glaber,
yeah,
Glaber.
I can look that
Glaber.
up.
I think he's Glaber's really he's chasing that contract and he's gonna get his money and he deserves it. I mean, he's not gonna be a Yankee much longer, but
just think of
he'll
him
get his money.
trying to get that contract on the Yankees. You could probably have an MVP type of year. And
Mhm.
and talk
I'll
about
say this: if we keep Glaber, Kev, because I know you like Glaber. If we keep Glaber, Peraza's gone.
I'm this is what I'm talking about. I wouldn't want to keep Glaber after the contract. I want to keep Glaber even if he walks. I want to keep Glaber until his contract is up. And if he wants to go as a free agent, I'm okay if the Yankees don't re-sign him. That's where I'm at with Glaber Torres. I wouldn't want to just trade him unless if you're going to get that Class A or you're going to get yourself a number 2 or number 3 starter for Glaber Torres. Yes, we could. You know what? As much as I like Glaber, trade him. But if you're just going to get him just for a number 5 starter or just because you're going to move him, and then he goes out and he has that 1 year where he's trying to get that MVP, trying to get that bag and have that career year. I'd rather have him have the career year with the Yankees and
Mhm.
walk than with another organization and get paid. Let him go get paid by someone else. I'm okay with it. But I'd rather have him have that career year in the pinstripes because I think we'll benefit from it. That's all. That's my stand on Gleyber Torres. Again, I wouldn't want to see the Yankees give him a contract, extend him. I really won't because he's a, let's face it, he tends to get a little lazy in at second base. Like he loses concentration. Like he thinks is the game. He's too good for the game, and he makes those fundamental lapses,
Mhm.
and that bothers me. He didn't live up to his real potential when he came up. When we're like, yo, this guy could be an MVP of the league. He hasn't even sniffed close for being an MVP. Yes, he's been 2-time All-Star, but he never
Okay.
lived up to the full billing. Yes, Heel.
I took a lot of digging, but and this is 100% facts.
You're knee
So
deep.
it's not my month or anything like that. This is the player who got caught the most stealing for the Yankees. It was actually Gleyber Torres 6 times.
I mean, if we all do it, yeah.
Yeah.
That
We
sounds.
did.
I'm looking at. He got
Yeah.
thrown out by a good 30 feet.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
There he is with
It-
a smiling face.
Circle gets the square.
It was
Yeah,
obvious.
yeah.
It was
Who?
obvious that he was trying to get his numbers up. Man.
Jason, it was one game. Me and Kev was calling.
Oh
This
my God.
man overslid the base. I'm like, come on, bruh.
I know. Man. Yeah, he has
I mean,
like that dude. He sometimes he gets he becomes like a bobo, like real,
yeah.
just like I don't know, man. Like he's like, oh, like you don't know what's going on. Like, dude, Wake
He has
up.
like he gets like those mental laps,
Yeah,
like those mental laps. You're like, what are you doing? It's like
yeah.
you're so uber talented to be doing those type of mistakes, and I think that's what to me that's what frustrates me as a Yankee fan watching him play because we know that he has this freaking worldly talent, and it's like, dude, why are you making these type of mistakes? It's like you shouldn't be making them. It just get it to me. It drives me crazy with Glaber, and I like Gleyber Torres. Like Chris said, but man, those some of his brain lapse is like, what are you doing? Just want to
Mhm.
shake him and give him and like the air, like the movie Airplane, start just smacking him and just walk him down the dugout so everyone could start slapping him to wake up. Man,
Yeah. But last year, man, he was consistent with the bat. He was pretty consistent. I'll give him that. He wasn't the Glaber like 2022 and stuff where he's just swinging at stuff. I'm like, what are you swinging at? Glaber's a good player, man, but see, if we lose him, am I gonna lose sleep over that? No,
no.
not
No.
at all. Yeah.
That's why I'm okay. That's why I said I'm okay if they don't sign him for a contract extension. I don't. He could go. It's just I would like him to just play that 1 year because they always tend to have that career year right before they hit the freaking free agency. They
Mhm.
go look at Judge 60 plus home runs. Right before free agency. Banking on himself. That's why that's my motivation, Chris. Because there's been not just Judge. There's been so many examples with these
Yeah.
major league players when they're going to hit free agent, they have that career year. You're like, holy crap, and then they don't. They get paid, and then sometimes they don't even come sniffing close to their career years.
Shohei almost did it last year. If he didn't get
That,
hurt, man, he was chasing a Judge's record for a while there,
I
man. He was on
know.
pace.
he was on pace. I was like, oh shucks, he's gonna break this, isn't he?
Uh, Honestly, even Judge was on pace. If he would not got hurt, man, he would have had a monster year.
I think
He
he would
was
have 50.
raking,
I think
dude.
he would have had 55 home runs, Jason.
This
Yeah,
man
Yeah,
broke his toe and still had 35 home runs.
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
man.
Honestly, for like a couple months there, I thought we were gonna have almost like another Sosa McGuire situation.
ooh,
I'll,
Between
I'll be
Judge
honest.
and
Yeah, Shohei. Yeah,
and
yeah, I mean,
these two were clean.
yeah, these are clean. What do you mean, Sosa? He did Sosa. That was all
Yeah.
platanos, man. That's how he got that big.
Man, he was so
And
dirty.
plantains,
He was
man.
so he was so dirty and tainted that he had to bleach his ass after he retired. Baseball. That's how tainted he was.
He didn't even bleach himself. That was the steroids. Turn him back.
Yeah, right. It even changes
Uh-huh.
even his skin
Uh,
tone.
that
Thinking that,
guy, man.
oh my God, man, Jesus
I feel bad
Christ.
for Sammy though. I feel bad for
I tell you what, though, guys. I know I hate to keep harping on this the Soto topic. It's just
Oh, that's
I'm
fine. I mean,
excited.
No,
not
no,
I
you
woke
good.
up. I woke up today feeling good. I got up. I couldn't wait to just because I live in San Antonio, so everybody here is an Astros fan. I couldn't wait to get to work. Oh my god, I showed up early today. I just wanted to rub it in. And they already knew, man. They're like, oh, you still guys are still not gonna win. Everybody keeps saying that we're still not gonna make it to the playoffs and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. We'll see. We will see.
me personally, the only thing holding you guys back is a question mark and that stupid buffoon, the guy that doesn't believe in the
Boone.
starters. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but I
yeah,
think I Boone. Honestly, that's why I like what's the bench coach Osmus Brad Osmus.
Brad Ausmus.
Me
I
too.
like that move, and I'll tell you why. Because he's a manager, you know.
Yeah,
So he wants that spot. Boone has his replacement sitting right next to him
I
right
said the
now.
same
So
thing in that video.
they're gonna hold his feet to the fire. Like, all right, now mid-season, man, we could get you out of here. We got your replacement right there. That's his
And
interview
you
for the
remember
job.
he was the one that I don't know if it was Jojo Order or CC when he was like, "Who you telling to shut the fuck up?" And I was like, "What
Yeah,
the hell?"
he's a fiery fella. And I mentioned that too. I said, and I said the same exact words you said, Jason. That's his replacement.
Yep.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
Brad Osman's played in the major leagues. If you remember, I believe he played for your Astros, Keel.
yeah.
He was an Astro catcher, and also he I think he was a runner up of Manager of the Year when he managed the Tigers or
Yeah, I think it was the Tigers. Yeah, he was a runner up.
runner up. And when you talk to Major League Baseball players, and you have and like say Gleyber Torres has a brain fart, when Osmus pulls you over to have that conversation about you should have done this and this, you tend to listen more because hey, I've been there, I played the game, I know what you're going through, or something that has nothing to do with baseball. And relax. That's where they thought Sean Casey was going to help the Yankees as a hitting coach because they wanted to bring someone from who played the game who could relate to the players of what they went through. No disrespect for Carlos Mendoza. Good luck with him with the New York Mets as a manager. But I think when the bench coach has that conversation with players, like, hey, well, I'm gonna listen to this Bato. He never played the game before. You telling me, it's like me telling a cardiologist how to conduct, you know, to check an EKG where I'm an electrician. It's like, wait a minute, you're an electrician. You never done, you don't know nothing about the heart. What, you talk, I can't, we never been in the same shoes. I just see it that way when you talk to players. And then, listen, there's been known play managers that never play the game at Major League Baseball, and there's the most smartest baseball players, managers in baseball history. I get that, but I think with this new modern day baseball players or modern day, you kind of have to have some kind of a been there, done that before, so people could kind of listen to your message a little more. It's just me. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I think Optimus is going to help the New York Yankees as a bench coach. I'm really that move there got me excited. Really, and I got excited last year when they bought Manaya and Saban. I don't remember, Chris. I told you I like that move.
Yeah.
They bought in there, and I like this move at Osmus. So they're bringing in some baseball guys who knows the nuts and bolts, who gets their fingernails dirty in baseball dirt, and they know the game. They eat, live, and shit baseball, and I like it. Not
You,
just
you-
numbers.
you know what I found out, Kev, today that I didn't know? You know, Manaya's son plays for the Portland Trailblazers. Had no
Really?
idea.
I had no idea either.
Mm.
His son is in the NBA. I was like, wow,
Whoa,
isn't that
snap.
something?
Isn't
Real,
that?
man. He was talking about it on the Network today. I was like, get out of here.
Oh, get out of here.
That's
I gotta
pretty
check
cool.
it out. That's pretty cool. Damn, I didn't even know that.
Which
Wow.
shows you, it kind of tells you where the sport of baseball is, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you
And
got a
and
guy
we were
like that. You know, you think his son be a big leaguer, you know?
and they're playing basketball. They're
Yeah.
playing, yeah. And that's what I was telling Heel yesterday before you came on. I said baseball is turning into such a regional.
Mhm.
I know you recall when we were talking about that they were more regional instead of a global. They should be right now. The hot stove should be dominating the headlines in baseball talk and all sports talk, and they're not even really talking about it. They should be finding out. You know what did Shohei Otani had for dinner tonight, and with
Mhm.
who, and what restaurant, and what city is he in? And we don't peep, no peep. We got nothing. Nothing was.
Nothing.
But it is still like, and you can call me whatever you want, biggest Shohei fan, whatever. But like, but it still is like mind blowing though that Shohei doesn't want the attention, and he's not like, he doesn't want anything to be public, and people are still talking and wondering what is he doing, like, because like I said, it doesn't matter where he goes, he's gonna be the star of that team. He's gonna be the superstar because he is the LeBron James of baseball, Messi, whatever you're gonna call it. He is that guy. I mean, when he was playing here in the States, 60% of Japan stayed up just to watch the guy play. Yeah.
Japan is not that big, man. I'm just playing, man. I'm trying to downplay it. Just kidding, man.
Jap-
Uh,
Tokyo's as popular as New York. I
I
mean, New
don't get
York
it though. Like
gets a
if,
lot
if
of
you
people.
if you want your life to be so private, then LA is probably not the place to go. Right?
No,
I
no.
would say you're gonna have TMZ chasing you down and stuff. I don't know. I'm just saying, man. You know,
That's
Well,
why
like
I'm actually surprised Chicago is in the mix.
uh,
I told Kev it probably has to do with the fact that he's Japanese too. He wants to be respectful of
mhm.
like the other players and everything, considering he wants to negotiate without trying to like outshadow the other players.
No, but you know what he did though. Honestly, if I was his agent, I would be so upset with him because when he said, "Oh, I don't see myself ever playing in New York," right there, you just cut your value. you want the everyone in the league, every team to think that that you go anywhere for the money. You want Cohen, to put an offer. You want the Yankees to put an offer. You want that's what drives up the price. And even, I bet you the players union doesn't like that either. You know,
No.
they get upset because it messes up the market. And they want the players to get more money from the owners. So it's
And
a lot of politics that's behind the
When
scenes, man. With this
no
stuff.
not
knowing
only
Shohei,
not only
knowing
Shohei, it's about other players because if New York gets involved, I'll let you go real quick here. If New York gets involved and they drive it for where he's 700 million, guess what? Soto, it benefits Soto next year. It benefits
Mhm.
so and so going forward, and you want him to get as much money and drive up that cost instead of getting 550,000. Let's say if the Mets are involved in Cohen, and Cohen wants 650, and the Blue Jays sign him for 700,000, that helps other players down the ride. Go ahead, Gil. Go ahead, Gil.
yeah, knowing Shohei, and obviously I don't know him personally, but I obviously know him from like interviews and stuff like that. Obviously, he has mad respect for the Yankees. He's actually a big Matsui fan. Obviously, Yankee fans, they're gonna take it as an insult, like, oh, he doesn't want to play here because he probably hates the Yankees, whatnot. What he meant was he doesn't want to play here because he doesn't like the media being in your face and stuff like that. Because like he's a really private person, and like you guys are probably saying like, oh, why did he choose LA then? Well, number one, you have to start your career somewhere. You know what I mean? And number two, I mean, the Angels. Well, let's be honest, they don't really get that much media attention
Mhm.
anyway, because it's not like they're the Dodgers.
Right.
You know
So
what? We don't want him anyway. It's like, I don't
There
want
you
him
go.
anyway. You can stay
yeah,
over there, man. But
uh,
it's not that, man. It's
yeah.
I don't mean, I don't even care what he said. I'm just saying that from a business standpoint, why did he do that? I would have
Right.
made it seem like, you know what? That's why I say that's why I think Judge did it right last year. Judge was never going to San Francisco. Now in hindsight, like looking back on it, man, he was gonna be a Yankee the whole time. But he had to put the pressure, he had everybody on their toes because nobody knew. I think Shohei needs to do that. I know if Boris was his agent, I bet you none of this would be going on right now. I
Exactly.
promise you that none of this will happen.
And also, Shohei likes to compete. For all you know, he's probably is waiting for like to see what division is more stacked. Because like the guy loves to play baseball. He loves to compete. He likes to go out there and see who he can like outperform and stuff like that. The guy is a competitor. I
No, he
mean,
is, man. We'll see.
eh,
We'll see, man. I'm telling you, because we say all that, but what if he goes signs with a team that's like, come on, dude, you might as well just stay with the Angels. If
I
you
mean
really
that.
want to win, if you want to win, you come to New
I mean,
York, baby. Bring him
that's like
here,
he
right?
goes. Uh, that's like if he signs with the Cubs and he picks the Cubs. I'm like, we're gonna be like, what? It's
I
like,
mean, that all depends
Or
what the
the
team tells him
Giants,
too,
right?
because because there's been teams to lie to a player. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my Rangers are even guilty of this. Where they talk to A-Rod, where it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna sign you, and then we're gonna build a whole team around you, and we're gonna go for it, baby. We're gonna win it all. Just give us like 2 or 3 years. There's
Mhm.
been teams that do that to just lie to a star player. It happens a lot more often than not. I mean, look at Mike Trout. He's stuck with the Angels. I mean, they're not really trying. I guess kind of are, and it sadly it happens. Players get lied to, and then they either ask for a trade or they just waste their career, and it's sad, but it happens. It happens in every sport, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
So
but Mike,
it could happen.
but Mike Trout though, I mean, even though now nobody really wanted, but he could have been asked for a trade. He's in Anaheim because he wants to be there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, Kev.
yeah,
He's
but look at the Angels. They're still telling him, dude. Hey man, we're hiring a new manager around Washington. We're gonna try to get all these pieces together. We're trying to figure it out, man. Meanwhile, um, his management should be more honest with him and be like, hey, look, man, the Rangers didn't figure it out. The Astros been having to figure it out. Mariners are starting to kind of figure it out. We don't think we're going to be able to compete, man. We should probably just trade it away. And hey, sometimes there are those guys that are loyal. I'll give you that. Some there are those guys that are just flat out loyal
Hey, Hill.
for
I
what
want to
reason we
ask
don't
you,
know.
son. Do you really think he's worth $700 million?
Think about it, man. The guy hits like Bryce Harper. and the guy pitches like Corbin Burns. What would you offer those two just to be on your team? Then you combine that, he's worth somewhere between 550 to 600 million.
Yeah, I would say 556. I would say that. Well, all this 700, 800. I see some crazy numbers. Yeah, it's like two players, but no, but it's only one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because
yeah,
if he gets hurt pitching, guess what? He can't hit. If he gets hurt hitting, guess what? He's probably not gonna pitch. It's just one person, you know. I don't know. To me, it's a lot of risk.
yeah. You get
A
two
lot
players
of risk.
basically, but if he goes down, you lose two players basically. I get that.
Exactly. And
Yeah, I get that mindset. Yeah,
uh,
He's
to
a
me, I
designated, but he's a designated hitter though. He doesn't play the field.
but that's the thing though. He can, and he has sometimes too. Like he can play all outfield positions, believe it or not. Uh, but obviously you want to make sure he's as healthy as possible. So they don't really do that, obviously.
And he hasn't been healthy either. He's always got something, even from his rookie year. He's always got an injury.
isn't this his second Tommy John?
His second time, John.
His
Yeah, it is.
second- You see what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of risk. I
For
wouldn't do it
for
personally.
$700 million.
I think the dude is great, man. But if I was an owner, man, I wouldn't even put him on my fantasy baseball league. I'm not doing it, man. You know,
I put him on my
so
fantasy league
much.
actually, and I actually came this close to winning the World
Mhm.
Series on my fantasy baseball team. This close. But yeah, is it worth it? Actually, it still is. As you know, Shohei, just by basically being associated with your team can make upwards to around $700 million just by his name being associated with your team.
Well, the business
Yeah,
aspect, like I mentioned yesterday, with the demographics and the different culture, just the TV rights to broadcast
yeah.
your games to
Mhm.
Japan is a lot of money too. And of course, the
Yeah.
jersey sales. Just think about the end. If he would have, and he never, I don't think he thought about that. He could have been an innovative way for collecting at least 10% on every jersey sale with his name on the back. I mean, my goodness, and interlocking NY, the jersey, Yankee jersey, was one of the most famous jersey in the world. When they shot an extra Shohei Ohtani licensing on that with him in the back, you could have made money. It's just uncreative. I don't know. It's
Oh,
just
that's what Messi did. It's
exactly.
like
Yeah.
that's how you really do it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
fans that literally travel from Japan just to come watch Angels games. I mean, besides Otani, I don't know why. I mean, but like, yeah,
It's also Disneyland is there.
yeah,
It's an attraction.
Yeah.
Southern California is an
yeah.
attraction. You go to Disneyland, you get an Angels game, which is close, it's right there. You go see Shohei Ohtani, and it's just one. It's the closest city to Japan in the United States. So that's why he understands why he kind of wanted to stay on the West Coast
And
for
not
that
only
also
that,
reason.
ever since Shohei's been on the Angels, ticket sales have been through the roof. By the way, at least like more, they've been more than normal, and there's a stat on that. By the way,
No, and that's a
yeah.
smart business aspect, but you still got to put a winning product on the field. It doesn't exempt you because you have Shohei and Trout. You're gonna get the ticket sales. You got to also put a winning product. I mean, their moves are questionable. They kind of feel like a snake bit franchise. Yeah, they win a World Series, but they feel like they're kind of snake bit the Angels.
It's because of Artie Moreno, and you know how their whole front office is just delusional. Like, because like they don't understand their situation. Like, and again, and I'll say it again. I'm sorry, they're not going anywhere with the top three dogs in that division overpowering them right now with the Mariners, Astros, Rangers. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. Those three teams have it more figured out than they do, and they have the best player in the world. And they have like arguably the second best. It's not still a top five player in the world, and Mike Trout. And they can't figure it out.
Pluto.
Why? Why? Because the other teams are just a lot more smarter than them.
I've never seen Caputo happy, and that's
Hold
good to
on,
hear.
let's give him his welcome.
Saludos, capullo.
Ay, capullo.
I didn't think it was possible for him to be a happy Yankee fan. Now, if we don't get Moto, he's gonna be
Oh, there's a new
not making it to
standard.
the playoffs. Now.
To the Phillies. They've been talking about him wanting to go to the Phillies for a long time. I don't think that's gonna happen, Charlie. I don't know. I don't think he wants to come. I think he likes staying at Southern California out there. I don't think he's gonna finish his longevity with the Angels and retire and be their face of their franchise, their best player in franchise history. I think that's what's gonna happen with Mike Trout going forward. It'd be interesting to see with that there. But now we get Yamamoto. Let's go. We're gonna have that next podcast with Yamamoto is here. Yamamoto is here. Yamamoto is here. Donomo arigato, Mr. Yamamoto. That's gonna be the title.
I wish I could. I could tell them in Japanese. Don't go to the Mets. They're a snake bitten franchise right now. Like even with Steve Cohen. Like and I hate saying that because I know Chef Dan's also a Mets fan, and like I said, I'll never forget the meme where he told me he went to his boys. He was like, "Guys, I feel like this is our year," and I was like, "But you're still a Mets fan, Chef Dan, and we know how the Mets work. Nothing ever goes their way. It's just how it works."
That's like they're like the Jets,
Yeah,
man.
Or the
yeah.
Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, Cowboys is not too bad. Just
I mean, look at
Oh
what
no.
happened.
Oh
no.
no.
I mean, I'll give him
I
this.
hate I'm a Giants fan, man.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I'll
and I
give
live in
him this.
Texas. So it's bad.
Scherzer and DeGrom did win a ring, but it wasn't with the Mets, sadly. Yeah.
You know, I tell you what though, man. Yeah, it's a rough time to be a Mets fan. But you know what the worst fans are right now, who are sick right now? The
Don't say
Padres
it.
fans, man. I feel bad for them. Man, it's like a
Well,
funeral over there, bro.
Well, no, they still got Fernando Tatis. They got Machado. They still got some numbers, some
Yeah,
generational
but
players there.
The
Man, I
worst
think
franchises right now are probably either the Jets or the Bears. They're like close. They're neck and neck.
they're not even done shedding. You know, they're still shedding. So the only reason those guys are not gone is because they can't go anywhere. You
Right.
know, I think that when they signed Bogarts, man,
That was
they
the
literally
mail.
sealed their fate for the next
Yep.
10 years. You know,
When
it's
I
sad,
saw
man.
that, Jason, I said this is gonna end like they're gonna have to get rid of. I knew Soto wasn't going back because
Yeah, no way.
they gave him that big ass contract, and then they got
Mhm.
all those other players. You can't have so many contracts like that. Not the Padres. They're not a big market team where they generate that money like that. That's that's what's gonna happen if Shohei goes to the Blue Jays. That
Oh
same
yeah.
exact thing with the Marlins, like the Padres. They're gonna do the same exact thing because
Mhm.
we've seen them done that before. They've done that
Mhm.
before, and that's gonna exactly happen with the Padres, with the
I,
Blue Jays.
I get afraid that I think about that with the Yankees too, man. What if we overspend on Yamamoto and it doesn't work out? What if they just go crazy and just start signing everybody? And it's like, you know what? It's this year or bust, and it doesn't
It can-
work out. And now we can't sign Soto. I mean, we can, but they won't because they just won't.
that's why I said last stream, Hal gave himself a parachute.
Mhm.
By what I mean a parachute is he's going to spring in. He'll sign Yamamoto. He'll sign Soto. And if it doesn't work, we know Boom is gone. We know
Mhm.
Cashman by be gone. And then Hal says, see, I tried spending the money. I tried spending the money, but you saw it didn't work. Now we're
Mhm.
gonna build in from the structure, we're gonna build our organization from the front, and we're gonna bring the young kids, and we're gonna build our minor league system, and we're gonna do it the right way. And then he's not gonna spend money because he did it and we didn't win. So now we're gonna do it the cheap way. And I think he's gonna win if he did it. See, I'm just like my father. We spend the right money, and when I believe in Brian Cashman to bring us a championship this year and the years to come, and I can hear the conversation. I can hear him talking and saying
Yeah.
he's got both balance there
The,
to give us.
And, Cole could be opting out. He can
Yeah,
opt out after this
next year.
year.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
this
but
dude, if he has another
yeah.
season like last year, why wouldn't he?
it don't
If you're
matter.
giving Yamamoto
The team give
30
him another
something
year.
million a year,
That's part of his contract. If he opts out, Yankees can give him another year, and he has to stay.
Oh yeah.
So
You
Cole ain't
see what I'm
going
saying?
nowhere.
Like how if you're Garrett Cole and you're gonna, I get it. Yamamoto, I'm sure he's gonna be great and everything, but we don't know, man. It's like a minor leaguer, man. We don't know until he gets here. You know,
that worries me.
you're gonna give him more than you're gonna give him Garrett Cole money. The American League Cy Young. It's crazy. to me anyway. I want Yamamoto. I mean Yamamoto, Yamaguebo,
No,
whatever his name is, man.
no, you're right. Yamamoto.
Yeah, man. I want it, but man, I feel like Cohen is gonna drive the price up.
Yeah, Cohen.
To
Actually,
the
yeah.
level.
Jason and I think you, Kev, both bring up really important points. For example, if you guys do go all in on Yamamoto, and let's say Cole has another good season, especially knowing Steve Cohen's like really like basically spin without thinking. Why wouldn't Cole want to opt out if he has another good year in test wallers? Because like there might even be more teams willing to spend more money than the Mets. And also think of just like kind of like you said, Kev, not just Hal, but also I think Cashman's making this move so also protects his rear end because Cashman could also be like, see, it's not my fault. I'm making the right moves. I'm pleasing the fans. You guys wanted Soto, I got Soto. Not only that, you guys wanted to wanted a better product. I got a better product. Then he can also go to Hal and be like, see, Hal, I'm doing exactly what you told me. I should stay. I should still be hired. It's not my fault. It's Boone's fault. He's the one to blame. But in reality, let's be honest, if it doesn't work out, they're still both to blame because Cashman, he's not thinking long term. He's thinking now, which is all fine and dandy. But, it's a two-way street. You still got to think winning long term. And Boone still has to put together the lineup. And if they're not seeing eye to eye, that's a huge problem. And Hal has to realize that. So just like you said, Hal can be like, see, I'm spending you money and I'm willing to do this and that. But Cashman, I think, is really doing this not just to try to win this year, but also to protect his rear end. So that way, if someone gets fired, it's just Boone and not him.
I think they both go if they don't go where they need to go. Salute, Caputo. Long time no speak. What's going on?
Very happy with the Soto news. We finally got the player that I've been waiting for, and this is a huge, big time move. I think this is a blockbuster. Now you have to get with like two pieces away from a World Series. I think they need a starting pitcher now and a closer.
Yeah.
Yep. I love this move, and they got a player in the prime of his career. I mean, just think about it. The Yankees never got a player this young. Like A-Rod was 29 when we traded for him. They never got a player that was 25 years old. So this is definitely this is something that's like out of this world. So
your gut, Mike. Do they resign him?
Yes, there's no way they let him go to the Mets. I'm sick of hearing all these salty Met fans on WFAN, Sal and Evan Roberts saying, "Oh yeah, you guys are just renting him, but we're gonna buy him." No, you're not taking.
What is it? Rent in the Bronx and buy in Queens?
Yeah. Evan Roberts said that.
Rent in the Bronx and buy in Queens.
I can't stand.
That's the truth, though. In real estate,
they said that with Aaron Judge. And they didn't get Judge. I don't understand. Every time we get a player, the Met fans always think about like stealing players from us when they never even outbid anybody from us. What the hell's wrong with these Met fans?
Yeah, that's the Mets. You know how that is, man. Don't be careful there. Sal Licata will hang up on you.
I'm friends with Sal, but
I know that. I'm not
saying anything about the Mets because then he'll go furious. He'll go crazy.
We'll let the Mets keep Pete Alonso. They'll be happy, man.
Oh, they're gonna go ballistic if we get Yamamoto. They're gonna forget it. They're not gonna.
Oh man.
Yeah. They're gonna have a conundrum. If the Yankees sign when the Yankees announced that the signing of Yamamoto, the Met fans are gonna have a conundrum, and I hate it. I hate it.
Especially if we outbid Cohen. If it's like we're the top two teams, bidding, or even if Cohen outbids us, but he decides to come to us anyway. Man, it's even worse.
That's gonna be that's gonna be infuriating to Cohen
because Cohen's supposed to be the big, he's not supposed to get outbid from anybody. But so far, I mean, I'm not really that impressed with this owner. I mean,
but he jumped on his private jet and flew out there personally.
Oh yeah, he did
to pitch his case.
I mean, he has a lot of money, but he did get Scherzer and Verlander. But how did that work out? I mean, they had to trade both of them.
But he got it though. He did do it though. When we were last year as Yankee fans, we were criticizing the Yankee organization for not going and get those stud pitchers.
Oh no, I'm talking about.
But my problem with the Mets, and I know we're talking Yankees, is
And they got Lindor too.
what was the situation with the Mets the last 2 seasons? They couldn't hit for shit.
No.
Why are you not spending money on the big on get some hitters?
Yeah, they have problems too on the offensive side. It's not just
Mhm.
us. They talk about that we have like more holes than them, but they have just as much problems. They have just as much holes as the Yankees. They don't have offense. They don't have a bullpen, and their rotation's bad too. So
They got a lot of issues there, and they got they don't got a farm system. They're trying to
no,
they're trying to make a farm system. It's just
Yep.
they. I mean, even if Soto would have went to the Mets, that would have been a 1-year rental, no matter how much money
yeah, I don't think they
Cohen
would
had.
have signed him back.
If
Yeah,
he
I
would have
don't-
been, no, they would have tried to sign him back, but I think he would have walked because they're like, I ain't staying here. There ain't
Yeah.
nobody here. Who's gonna protect me? Pete Alonso and
Yeah.
Lindor. I mean,
When Edwin Diaz got hurt, I knew that it was hope for the Mets, man.
yeah, I
The
know.
Mets are cursed, bro.
Yeah, they
I
cursed.
really think they are.
Like
man.
death.
that's some bad. Yeah, that was a snake bit. That was snake bit there when he gets hurt, celebrating on closing out a freaking game. I mean, I'm like, really, dude? That's like Aaron Rodgers going back to pass on fourth
Mhm.
and just getting sacked and getting
Four snaps, yeah.
and losing his damn Achilles. It's like, really? That's how I
Yeah.
equivalate Edwin Diaz with and thank God I'm a Yankee fan because I'm a Jet
Right.
fan and I'm like I would have been going bananas.
And I was
You
just going to tell you,
You know
we're
what
talking
someone wrote the other day? What someone commented? They're like, "Congrats on getting Soto. I can't wait till he tears his Achilles on the third play." I was like, what?
Okay, I don't like wishing injuries on players. I don't care how much they do to you.
Yeah, me either do
Yeah.
I. I don't find that pretty cool. Yeah.
No, that's what the Padre fans were saying.
No, I know. They said the same thing. The Buffalo Bill fans were saying the same thing.
You don't
about
wish
Aaron Rodgers.
injuries on players, whether you're a fan or not. I never do that. It's not good sportsmanship. And who the hell would want to wish injury on somebody? That's terrible.
Yeah, them guys got families, man. These people, they're regular people just like us, man.
You don't.
Yeah. Like I remember when Aaron Judge got injured, I was like hoping and sending positive vibes and everything. I was like, I hope he ends up okay at least.
Oh yeah, where's Otani going? You think Dodgers or Blue Jays? I'm gonna say Dodgers.
I'm feeling Blue Jays. I don't know why. I just do.
I think
I really wanted Otani badly, but after the 2 Tommy John surgeries, I don't know. It's a big risk. Someone's gonna give him $600 million. I don't know how that's gonna pan out.
higher, Bob.
Higher?
I think he's gonna get 650 to 700, bro.
I mean, they
Higher?
trying to make it seem like teams are bidding on this guy. Realistically, how many teams? I think there's probably 2 to 3 teams who's seriously bidding.
You're probably right.
There's rumored to be like 8 teams still in on him, but
Let me ask you
like
this though: Did you want Otani or Soto? I mean, if you had to choose, like, who would you really want?
You know my answer. I'm not even gonna tell you my.
Soto. Yeah.
That's a hard question because you're talking about the modern day Babe Ruth or the modern day Ted Williams. It's a win-win.
You go with Juan Soto.
Oh, he's younger. That's the whole thing. I mean, he's 25.
Carlos, salute.
Otani's 30, but Otani could do both. But
Like I get you guys are really excited about the Soto news, but like that's really a hard question. Like I said, it's
I've been it's not excitement heel. You know, I've been saying that for over 2 years now. He's a novelty act, and you know I wanted Soto. You know my stance.
I know. Like I said, but
I do not like Shohei Otani.
I know you don't, but
I'm starting not to like him either.
I love Hideki Matsui. I mean, he was one of my favorite Yankees. It's nothing to do with Japanese players, right?
No, but
okay.
Godzilla.
Oh
man.
yeah, I love Tanaka, man.
But Godzilla is just not the unicorn, though. Unicorn's once in a lifetime.
Yeah, but
what about Hideki Arabu? You miss him, computer?
No, he was
the unicorn. One Tommy John the way for his own fall down.
I love Ichiro. I mean, he was a Yankee for like 3 months. 4 months.
Ichiro, I was disappointed that I thought he was going to be a little more greater.
Yeah,
I wanted to see them win with Ichiro too, but I was excited to see Ichiro on the Yankees.
Oh yeah, probably the greatest pure hitter in the history of baseball.
Oh yeah,
he's up there with Pete Rose.
Yep.
Yeah. He was that modern day Wade Boggs when he was around. Boggs was one of those that was just when he was in his prime. Boggs was like that was Ichiro. That same type of sport of game,
Yeah,
Ichiro and Boggs. The only thing that Boggs was slow, way slower than Ichiro.
yeah. As much as
Yeah.
I love Matsui, he wasn't Ichiro. Ichiro was better.
No, Ichiro was better than Matsui. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you know, 2 times better immediately.
Yeah,
yeah,
Ichiro was like basically like a 1910s type of player, just hitting and speed and fielding, born in like this generation.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
Yeah,
was that was like Rod Carew. You know, if you Rod Carew type of player with the contact hitting and the arm of a Roberto Clemente, because Roberto
yeah,
Clemente had an arm and Ichiro had an arm
Yeah,
in the
Ichiro had
outfield.
an arm. No, but
yeah.
Ichiro had an arm.
Ichiro could hit one out every now and then, man. He had a
Yeah.
little pop there too. That
He
just
did have
wasn't
the
his game. He was a slap hitter.
Exactly, exactly. He wasn't called for that. He knew his place
No.
in the lineup wasn't going to change. He used to get some hits, get on base, and make some havoc on the base pads. That was Ichiro Suzuki's game, which I liked. And Masui was more the power hitter. He was the one that's
Yeah.
going to drive in the RBIs. They had their functions. And I think that's what the modern day baseball is kind of missing.
Mhm.
Like guys have a function and they have to stick to their function. You know, if
Yeah.
you're a power hitter, you're going to be driving the ball. Other
Mhm.
guys, we're losing the art of slapping the baseball, getting on base, and creating havoc because the analytics say it's just a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. There's not a value in that, which I disagree.
Oh yeah.
you
Oh, and
got players like Luis Arias who still do that.
And
Yeah.
but it's rare. How many are can you count the numbers of Reese Arias type of players there are in this modern day
I
Major
mean,
League
he's
Baseball?
not fast, but he's still a slap hitter. Like he's still,
And that's probably just him, but that's not what they teach these guys now. They're like, oh, if you bring your launch angle down 4 degrees and all, they made baseball into a freaking calculus, man. I'm like, dude, just hit the ball, man. You might get lucky a lot of times and make it to the Hall of Fame. And they'll look on paper and they're like, well, you you just got lucky, or they say, oh, you were unlucky because you hit the ball hard every time. But yeah, but you hit it straight to somebody, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
Sick of they overdoing it with the analytics, man. It don't make no sense.
Remember, baseball is you fail 70% of the time. If you fail, and if you fail 70% of the time, if you succeed 30%, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how it is. If you're batting 300, that's 30%. That's your Hall of Fame numbers, and it's crazy. The game of baseball, the way that is, the way that's structured, and these guys with the long was changing something. Yeah, it works for a degree, but not every player is meant to lift the ball up with that kind of an angle. It's just that just drives me nuts with the modern day baseball. I guess I'm an old school type of guy that like
yeah.
the bunt, that like the hit and run, that like the slap hitter. You know, hit the ball the opposite direction and start running on the bases. Let the merry-go-round go. I get excited. Chris
I
knows
love
we go
that
watch
too.
along. I get excited for the damn bunt because remember that game when the bunt and the ball went to right field, they threw the
Yeah.
ball away and he came around and my goodness, if I think I should put that on my opening video, me going crazy on a watch along on a damn bunt. I mean, it was just that phenomenal of a play. I get excited with it.
Yeah.
I like it from all the way down from Little
Oh
League.
yeah.
I
I
like
love
the
the
Little League
bunt. I
bunting.
love the suicide bunt. I love all that. I love the hit and
Yeah.
run. It's all about old school ball. This analytics
Yeah.
that reminds me of a watch along when, ironically, 'cause we're watching a Yankee game, and the other team actually advanced their runner on a bunt, and you were like, "Wow, the other team can bunt. What a novel concept!" yeah,
Yeah, and I glad.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
when they go to extra innings, how do you start with the run on second?
With
Dude, it's too easy. Bunt the ball, a sacrifice fly, and the game is over, man. And we still can't do it. It
If
drives
you
me
look at the
insane.
watch along, Jason, I used to say this all the time. I was like, you have to bunt here because you want to put the pressure on. You bunt and get the guy over, and you know what? Good things happen. You know what? Then if you could set up for a big inning, even if you're the road team, because Boone said, I think it was on Talking Yankees or John Boy Media, he was saying that he don't want to bunt on the road because even if you tie it, the home team could still have a big inning and walk it off on you, yada yada.
Go up.
Nonsense. Go and take the 1-run lead that they're
Mhm.
giving you with the bunt. And then you know what? You should have a good enough defense. You should have good enough bullpen relief arms that you could trust your guys to get those outs and play the wheel play and play your defense right, because you should be practicing the will play on the bunt on who covers where, and you should get out of that inning with a run lead because you put the pressure on the other opposing team's defense. I don't get that philosophy. When I heard that from him explaining that to John Boy, talking Yankees, I go, this guy doesn't know shit about
He
man.
don't know what he's talking about.
No,
it's simple too, because once you do that, if you have a run on third, 1 out, in the top of the 10th, bottom of the 10th, whatever it is, you force them to do two things. Either you're gonna walk a player, you gotta walk that batter, or bring the infield in, or hope for a strike. It's a lot of pressure, So and then things happen. I don't get it, man. But honestly, I don't think any of these guys can bunt. I've seen some of these guys try to put down bunts. On our team, I'm speaking of in the Yankees, and I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like.
That's why there's spring training. They should be and practice that. Also, batting practice is great. You want to get the home run ball and all that. You should be practicing that. You should be having that there. You should. No one should be enamored not to play out a bunt. Everyone on the team should learn how to bunt and know how to bunt when needed. And listen, I'm not saying that Aaron Judge should go up there be bunting the baseball or Rizzo, so forth, but you never know in a situation where the player himself, we might not know. A player himself might have a little flu, might be feeling sick, not feeling well in the middle of in September, October, when the weather, and you're not feeling well. And guess what? He knows how to bunt. He might catch someone off surprise. He bunts the ball. He's on base. You never know what can happen because he wasn't feeling well to hit the ball out of the park where he can. And because he knows how to bunt, that's another arsenal in this tool bag that he could use to help the team. It's an ultimate team, pass the baton, ultimate team game. And that's why I would love them to learn how to damn bunt and know how to bunt. I'm not saying go out there and all three hitters in a row, bunt. And no, but you have to have that arsenal in your tool bag.
You remember what was happening with DJ last year too? Like his confidence was so low that he was bunting in situations where we don't need you to bunt.
Correct.
And he was bunting. Like you can tell, like DJ was way off. But then he turned it around a little bit. But yeah, we got to get the small boy, especially a guy like Volpe and stuff, because he puts a bunt down. He's gonna put pressure because he's so fast that you got to make a play.
Oh yeah, Kevin. I was going to ask you, what do you think about the Alex Verdugo trade? I like the trade.
That's a solid trade. At first, I mentioned it before, Caputo, but since I'm going to mention it to you because first time we speak about it, I thought that was going to be a trade that they were going to flip in the Soto.
Yeah,
I thought, you know what, they're going to offer San Diego Verdugo because and I mentioned to Heel because Verdugo in San Diego, there's a big Mexican population.
Yeah,
send people there where they could market and help the Padres make money with the jersey sales and bring in more people into the stadium because Alex Verdugo went over, when we seen him play for Team Mexico and vamos, let's support him. Let's go watch him. And I thought that was going to help them. But you know what? He's with the Yankees. You know what? You don't need the guy we don't need the mashers. You need a guy who can hit the ball gap to gap from the left side. In Verdugo's going to make contact. I like it. I am, and I understand there's some issues with some attitudes and coming in late. But you know what? He brings a little bit of an edge. The edge that they thought that Donaldson was going to bring, maybe Verdugo brings it. Maybe
Donaldson kind of went down like with the whole like bringing the edge. But I think this guy's definitely a better player, and I think he'll bring an edge. And also Grissom, not a good offensive hitter, but he's an excellent defensive player. Grissom, he's really good defensively.
We mentioned that too, and also with some speed as well on the base. If you need a pinch runner, that could score. But let me ask you this: what happens to Cabrera? In your thoughts?
You mean what happens to Dominguez? Well, I think they're going to put
not Dominguez. Dominguez has Tommy John. He'll be back in the summer. I'm talking about Oswaldo Cabrera.
I think they're just going to put him on the bench, or they might trade him, or they just going to put him in the minors. There's no need. I don't know where you put Cabrera, and Cabrera is just a bench, like a bench piece as of right now. I don't know what they're going to do with Cabrera.
Would you want to see Cabrera in the IKF role, like play all the different positions, or would you rather bring IKF back?
No, I'd rather have Cabrera. I don't want IKF. IKF is a free agent. I want IKF gone.
He did good though for the team, though. Don't you want him off the bench?
He was okay. He could play the outfield.
He's not a good defensive player. He's a terrible defensive player.
I would at least like him for the bench.
And I heard the Dodgers
but IKF represents that trade with the Twins, and we trying to move on from that, man. You know,
Yeah.
that Donald scenario, like we want to forget that.
Jason, give me 1 second, guys. Chris has to get going. He wants to say his final thoughts before he heads
Okay.
out.
Yeah, I want to say thank you, Kev, for producing this stream for us, and I want to thank everybody that joined us. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Mike, I'm happy to see you back with being a Yankee fan and not a Dodger fan. Hill, Jason, thank you for joining us and stuff like that. I gotta bring my daughter back to her mom, so I hope y'all have a good night, y'all.
Drive safe, and we'll be talking about the Yamamoto deal soon, my friend.
Okay, will do.
We'll be on for another 5 more minutes, and we'll say goodnight because we've been on for a while, and it's been fun. It's been fun talking a little bit
Peace out,
Yankee
Chris.
baseball. It's always great to continue to have. And I haven't seen Caputo in a while. I'd love to have Jason absolutely there. I gotta get your. Didn't you email me one time, Jason? I can't find your email. I was trying to send you the link, and I couldn't find your email.
Yeah.
I know. Resend. I tried. I was like, damn, I gotta send Jason my information so like that when I do the stream, I could just send it right to you or let you know heads up that we're gonna talk some baseball. So I'll just send my email there so I can have it there. Or follow me on my socials. That's all the same one for Twitter as well. So what's he Caputo? I'm gonna ask you this question. Who do you want closing this team? Who do you want at the ninth inning to close out this game? That's one of them.
I think the Yankees do have to get another closer, and I want to see them maybe trade for Clase on the Guardians. I think that's what they should.
It's going to cost a lot.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if the chances are a long shot, and if they don't get him, I like to see Josh Hader. I mean, I don't trust Clay Holmes. I don't trust him as a closer.
You're with my son who wants Hader. He says give Hader a shot. I know guys.
Yankee fans want Josh Hader. I think the whole Yankee fan base, I might be the only one who wants Josh Hader on this team. Everybody says don't bring him in because I don't know if you heard about Josh Hader. He has a lot of baggage, and they're saying that he's there's a lot of things about him that is a little disturbing. But I still want him as the closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting there. All right. So we'll find out. We'll find out what happens here because I think there's still going to be like Jason said. Once Ohtani signs, all the plethora of moves are going to happen. There's going to be so much movement with Major League Baseball after Ohtani because teams know, all right, this big fish is gone. This big fish is gone. Let's go to the next one and let's start our off-season plan now. Teams and usually it used to be before the winter meetings, all that thing got done. Now it's kind of
the way. Do you think the Yankees are from a World Series? How many pieces? 2, 3? Like how many pieces do you think they are?
We gotta see how it gels, though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see the first game of the day. Ironically, against my Houston Astros, I looked at it,
but I can't go by the first game. So I have to give me. I need a quarter. I need to go by Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, excuse me, to see where the Yankees stand, where they look.
You guys have the off season. The rest of we still have 2-3 more months left of the off season. So you guys
not only that. How much the payroll is going to extend after arbitration? Because a lot of
them spend $300 million now, so it looks like Cashman and Hal are putting, they're really like owning up to. I mean, they look like they're all in now. They want to win this championship. So it's something how they shift from saying that they didn't care and now they do.
So yeah, we got a 4-game set in Houston, so that's probably gonna be fun.
That's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to drive out there.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I'm looking at tickets right now.
yeah. They open
the Soto jersey.
The 28th of March or 27th.
Yeah, Soto. I can't believe he's a Yankee.
And what's gonna suck? I think that's gonna overshadow WrestleMania 40. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Depends on like you as a fan, like.
That's gonna suck for me.
That series though is gonna be hype because a lot of Yankee fans are gonna be like, "Come on, we got Soto. This is our time to take down."
Yeah,
this is the time we take down our big rival.
What was your reaction when you first heard the news, Kevin, that we got him? Were you excited?
I was confident. I always knew it. I said it. I told you last June. And I was telling you that Soto's going to be a Yankee. Don't worry.
But how come there was no other teams on him? It was just like the Yankees and
the Blue Jays were in.
They were in, but the Yankees had the more pitching prospect of all the teams. All the teams that were could acquire for a Juan Soto, the Yankees had more appealing prospects that the
Yeah.
Padres want.
Blue Jays offered Manoa. Come on.
Yeah,
They really do. Come on.
they already got a bunch of shit on the team. They didn't need more manure.
Oh, Kev,
Yeah.
can I do it? Now that it's accepted and everything. Remember what I
Yeah.
did last time? You know what, honey? I heard they got Soto. I'm renewing my season tickets right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Phil is renewing his tickets right now as we speak. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, Caputo, are you heading out to Yankee Stadium now to
Well,
pay?
yeah, I'll probably. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it now. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch games. I guess I'll go to like a few games. I mean, I want to see him in person. I mean, that's a Judge and Soto. I mean, that's
and
huge.
Stanton.
Yeah, if he's healthy, I hope he stays healthy. I mean, he was terrible last year.
Let's be real.
I think Stan comes back with a chip on his shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah,
I hope he has. Yeah, I'm sure he's like, you know what? I'll show you guys.
I won't be surprised. It won't be surprised if he's an MVP caliber player next year. I'm like,
I
holy
hope,
snap!
man.
Where did
Fingers
that come from?
crossed.
Right?
So are they gonna put Judge in right and Soto in left? I'm confused with the positions now.
No, it's gonna be Judge in center, Soto in right, and Verdugo in left.
Yeah,
That might cost a few errors though. Why not Soto in left? Never do go in right.
Yeah,
Or wait, or whatever, whichever one of those two go out corner outfield is wherever Soto's comfortable. That's where Verdugo is going the opposite direction.
You're okay with Judge in center though?
We met actually. That was a conversation that I had. One of the first questions I asked the panel earlier today. What short door? I was kind of reluctant because of the cold weather. I would like a center fielder, but these guys made great points. Judge is a hell of a center fielder. Already been playing in New York. They make great points. You're gonna have to watch the video earlier, but give me your thoughts.
I'm okay with him in center. I just hope he doesn't get no injury again because he has that fractured toe. I mean, it's healing now, which is great. But after that injury, you have to be very cautious with him staying healthy because I still rather him play his natural position in right field. But he's a great center fielder. He can play all over the outfield. I mean, he could be a left.
Here's one thing I'm going to give you, and I didn't say it earlier. I should have. In center fielder, he doesn't have to worry about the walls or any fences. Is only got to worry about the gaps, the gap to cover there. But damn, Jason, out there in that warehouse of a field to open up the season in Houston, hey, Judge there in that carpet.
I mean, he'd be fine. I think
Okay.
Judge is a dog, man. He just ran into they had a stupid brick thing on the fence, in LA. That's not there. He's not. He makes a great play, and we move on. And he hits 50 bombs. Last year.
Wasn't for that injury. Maybe
He broke the fence. He broke the fence too. He made the fence bend the other way.
But I mean, yeah, Judge is a dog, man. I mean, and obviously every now and then he might get a little sprain here and there, but I think he's gonna play at least 150 games.
Yeah,
around there,
We have our nitpicks about Judge. Like I even went on another YouTube show before with Hector, isn't it? The one that comes on here sometimes.
Yeah,
the morning review.
Yeah,
I went on there one time and I even said Aaron Judge needs to act more like a captain. Like we all have our nitpicks about Judge and other players, but without a doubt, like he said, at the end of the day, Judge is a great player and he does have that dog in him.
I agree with that. With that. All right. So any other opening late for arguments here before we get going? Because we've been on for a while and it's fun. It's fun.
This Yamamoto, I just want him to get Yamamoto, and I think my off-season checklist is complete.
Are you sure they don't need more pitching? Because like we said,
I think they need two more pitchers. Caputo.
It's a starter or two, but what other starter besides Yamamoto? I mean, they're not going to get Blake Snell. I don't know.
We mentioned some names out there, which I don't think is going to happen. Montgomery. Would you bring back Frankie Montas on a 1-year deal? Prove it. He's healthy now. He's fully healthy.
He's coming off of Tommy John. No, I'm staying away from that.
Marcus Stroman, who don't get injured, but he's reliable.
That guy's
Why don't you want Monty? He has that thing you like now and all that.
Montgomery, I mean, he pitches better away from New York. I don't know if he could handle it.
That you know what? That's perfectly fair. I thought you were gonna say something else, but that's
No,
perfect.
he mentioned that was a good point by Caputo there. He's
Yeah.
evolving. Yeah, good job there. Now, what about Tyler Glass now? Would you trade for Glass now?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I want Dylan Cease if they could trade for him.
Yeah, I know Jason said the same thing, but White Sox says not today. You know,
Yeah.
I
he's
threw
gonna.
it.
They're gonna make him available though soon because they have no point of keeping him. They're not competing for anything.
Well, Dylan Cease or maybe Shane Beaver, but I don't know about Shane Beaver anymore. He used to be good.
I throw the name out there but it's not going to happen now in the winter. It's probably going to be at the trading deadline if they have a bad season and they're not living up to par. Is Zach Wheeler for the Phillies?
Oh,
He might be a name out there because if the Phillies are out of it, I could see the move because he's a free agent at the end of the year.
I don't see the Phillies letting him go. He's the
I don't see them trading anyone. And by the way, I'm glad the Yankees, they made you excited and they fixed you, Caputo. Now we gotta hope they don't break you again because we don't want to.
Now it's World Series of Bust. That's it. I mean,
Caputo, the Yankees are building an Avengers team. They need a Thor. They need a Thor, and they signed a Noah Syndergaard.
No. No. Unless you build a time machine and go to like 2015, then sure.
I wasn't expecting that.
I wanted to see his reaction because he turned pink.
I was into it too. I was like, yeah, in my mind I was like Avengers. I saw a picture Juan Soto as Iron Man and
yeah. The Hulk there. Oh man, oh goodness gracious! I mean, he fell for grace. Noah Syndergaard. He had the slider of doom. Now he's like,
back in his Mets days, he's had that hard sinker that went 99, the fastball around that time too with the slider.
He's
change up.
Jacob DeGrom, man.
Yeah, he used to be filthy. To the point where he was even on that show Impractical Jokers. Like he was literally a superstar back in the day.
And now his career is an impractical joke.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Oh man. All right. So, gentlemen, I think this is the end of the program. I think we had a great conversation. I enjoy these conversations. Definitely, when Yamamoto signs, I would love everyone to join us back on. Give your thoughts and celebrate. Maybe we might pop a bottle of champagne while we're on the air. I've done it before on live stream. We'll pop on and say we got the Yankee Yamamoto, the off-season winds of war. Let's just hope, man. Real quick, your percentage of signing Yamamoto heel? What's the percentage Yankee get Yamamoto?
I'm 50-50 on it for myself because I'm like, you never know about if there's a mystery team out there, and plus it sounds like Steve Cohen is putting, a heck of an effort. But Yamamoto, please don't, dude. It's the Mets. They're cursed. That's like a player going to the Jets. You just don't want it, bro. You don't want the smoke and the bad smoke.
Jason, percentage wise.
I think right now is a 50-50. I'll agree with you.
Okay, wow. I'm actually shocked.
But if Shohei signs before he does, if Shohei signs this weekend, it might be 70-30, man, because his price is gonna go up when Shohei signs. I think
70-30 Yankees
next week. After Shohei signs. I mean, it all depends. It all depends. We'll see.
All right. Caputo, your thoughts on what percentage you think the Yankees sign?
I think it's very high. I think it's 90%.
Wow. I was gonna go 75% he signs with the Yankees and 25% the field. The field could be anyone else.
When I said 70-30, that means against the Yankees.
So you give Yankees 30% after
30%. Yeah.
Okay.
Jason, let me ask you a question though. Because obviously we're not sure if it's gonna happen. Let's just say Shohei does become a Blue Jay. Do you think there's a chance the Yankees get desperate and say, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and just whatever it costs, pull this move and get Yamamoto?
I think at that point we have no choice because they're in our division,
Yeah.
and that's the only reason. But I highly doubt he's going to Blue Jays, man. Like, who wants to go to Toronto? Like, be serious, man.
Yeah,
I don't think he wants to go there. I really don't.
no,
Let's
you mean
see.
Otani you talking about?
Yeah, Otani. I think he's comfortable where he's at. The Dodgers make too much sense to me.
Yeah, he's in California. It's right across from there. No, he's not going to Toronto. No. And I think Yamamoto's a Yankee. After seeing Juan Soto now, how could I not be confident now after that? I mean, now I'm definitely like confident they're going to get Yamamoto.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell, and I can't wait when that happens to see what who was correct, who was right, and we're just gonna have a good chuckle on that, man. This is great.
Yeah.
You guys have a good one. Have a good weekend. We appreciate everyone that joined us. Thanks for everyone that watched along on both my channel and Chris the Flash channel. We appreciate you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. May the sports be with you. We'll be back shortly to celebrate the signing of Yamamoto. Peace out.